scope for life, but I'm set for life, and I'm set for life, I'm set for life. Never go crazy, fucking life, no fucking insane.
Chorus right there.
You nailed it,
That is
dude. You
good.
nailed it. You nailed it. And you visually transformed into fucking Joe Rogan there,
You
dude.
did.
You fucking,
Oh, Joe Rogan. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
you did. You visually transformed
That's
yourself into Joe Rogan. It was amazing.
You're watching the Big Room live on Twitch. You're the Big Room. You're watching the Big Room live on Twitch. Yeah.
Guys, you gotta update the credits there too. Gotta get the credits updated.
That was unexpected. You got me on that one. You had to tune in last week. That new song was debuted. You guys liked it. You both. The fact that both of you really thought you really liked that song
Yes.
much more than I ever would have guessed. I was so pleasantly surprised because it cracked me up whenever I did it. I was laughing. I was like,
Yeah.
"This is funny," but I didn't. I thought T might, but I didn't think you.
Speak it to you. There's the
Hey!
Out of the darkness comes the monk. What? Oh, there it is.
The hands, double hands.
It does something to me. It definitely does something to me.
It reminds me of BB's dad used to call nunnies. Remember those nunnies?
Nunnies.
Nunnies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
Was it
breasts. Nuppers.
Yeah.
yeah, nunnies.
Nunnies.
Little
Yeah,
nunnies.
nunnies. Like who says nunnies? Nobody says nunnies. That's gonna be the
No,
next
it's
song.
a-
for me.
It's a Croat. It's a Hungarian hunky.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a
thing,
song
maybe.
now called Nunnies. Nunnies and Nookie Face. We're gonna put
Well,
some nunnies in.
Negi would call itty bitty. They would call them nuppers. Little nuppers.
Little
little
nuppers. Yeah.
Nuppers.
Yeah, that-
Uh-huh.
That one just makes sense to me. I like that one. Little nuppers. Yeah. That was a
It's
Negi
like- it's
thing.
like
okay.
Yeah, it was like nipples.
I still
but
use
like
that. It happens
noops.
in my head when I see him. I'm like, every once in a while, nunnies and nuppers will pop into my head, and I'll just laugh. It just makes me laugh. But
Nunny
Nookie
nuppers
Face,
popping in my
what
head.
do you guys like the Nookie
Nookie
Face
Face.
beat? Is that what you like about it?
Yeah,
The beat-
yes.
I like how you hold off on bringing the face in for so long. Yeah, you got the nookie going on, and just when you think that that's
I
it,
did it for the nookie.
you know, you think that, oh, okay, this is a song they got nookie going on there, and then you come out of nowhere from left field with nookie face. Yeah, you put a face in there.
Yeah.
And the
And,
timing,
remember
timing
Carvel?
is perfect.
Thank you. And the Carvel cookie face.
That was the Carvel cookie face.
I
Yeah,
think that
Yeah.
Carvel. Yeah, I'm cookie face, right?
It was
Wasn't that a
Cookie
thing?
Puss.
Cookie
It
puss.
actually was Cookie Puss.
So there you go.
Yeah,
so
that's
there's the full
right.
connection. You got cookie
Yeah.
There it
puss,
is.
and nookie is another word
And
for.
Nookie Puss.
Face.
So yeah. And if you get up in there, what do you end up with? The nookie face.
You get a little Nookie face.
Ah.
TK.
Hey T, got a question.
Hey.
What are
Are
you
you
drinking?
drinking?
Uh-huh. This is a little monk infusion by my future sponsor, Sir Robert Burnett, London.
Well, that's your past sponsor.
That's my yes, and
You still haven't
inevitably,
gotten the checks. They haven't sent you the checks yet.
yeah, because they think this is what they're waiting for, the infused, so I could get my own line
You
of it.
Totally
so I could,
need your own. Yeah. There you go.
right, and This is the chamomile line.
Oh,
Yeah, no caffeine, just pure
No
bliss.
caffeine. It's so good. I will be sharing it up with you guys when we're
Delicious
together
bliss.
again. So the two lines are the Jean-Luc Pitard, Jean-Luc Pitard
right.
gin, and then this is the Moncamille, chamomile. I don't know. I'm working on it.
Chamomile.
But the chamomile tea.
Yeah, either one works. That's good.
I don't know either. But it's absolutely delicious. I can't wait for you guys to taste it.
What?
No.
And then what I've been doing.
The head that came up would like to pass along to Ad Hoc that to her it looks like your microphone is covered with snow.
Oh, it's a tribble.
Yeah, it's a tribble.
Okay, nice.
He's a good tribble.
It's a good tribble.
Yeah, the tribble.
Looks
There's another throwback. 500 big room bucks.
Oh, yeah.
What is that a reference to?
All of my fans will know the answer to that one. They
All
don't-
BB's fans will know. It's
They don't think
tribble.
get cast out of the club.
But that was a good one, Monk. That was good. That was a good ticky tape recorder. You busted that. I remember that was such a weird episode, but yeah. He got the name right, didn't he, B? The tribble.
The tribble.
So what I've been doing is putting the glass in with distilled water in the freezer overnight,
Yeah.
and then
make a
just
nice
pouring
ice
it
cube.
on top. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
And this actually sat out overnight, so it's not as stable as it was because I didn't. Anyway, I put it in today. But that's the way to do it. Bon appetit.
All right.
Bon appetiki.
Don't chip a tooth on that.
Grandma Chip a Tooth. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was from Noopers. That was Elder Noopers. Ad Hoc and I, when we moved to Hershey, there was a swimming pool at the
Oh boy, this is a
in the
real
townhouse complex.
ticky tape recorder moment because boy, I don't
Uh-huh.
remember this moment. This
I
is
do.
the origin of that. You're telling
This is the origin of Grandma Chip a Tooth, and there was a fine elder mama, MILF. She was in all actuality, we were in our teens. She was probably 40.
You're right now, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, she was probably younger than us, but she
Right.
was blink blink. She had
Eraser nipples.
Yeah, eraser nipples. And Ad Hoc is like, man, you chip a tooth on those. It's like Grandma Chip a Tooth.
Grandma chip a tooth. She might have been a grandma. She
You
probably
might have
there
been.
was like
Of course she
She
might
definitely
have.
was a
Wanted
mom,
kids.
hence the nice erasers. The
Yeah.
Farrah Fawcett's. Okay, there we go.
boy,
Now-
a lot of talk about these things this episode right out the gate.
Noopers, right
So-
out the noops.
You know, hey, this
hey,
somebody
we're from the 80s. What are
yeah,
you gonna
and
do?
somebody already coined the term we shall not mention ever. Again, coined the term, we'll mention the term, locker room talk. You forgave him for that. You're going to watch this show. Do not change the channel, you Republican bastards. Don't be shocked. Don't be shocked. You gave up all your virtues in that. And that's
Yes,
just
you
my
did.
stance now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good. It's
Yeah.
good. Evangelical
Yeah, we'll
standards
talk
are
whatever
for
we- yeah.
shite.
You
For
can't.
shite.
You can't go to church and then change it because we're talking about Grandma Chipatooth. You
Chip a
can't.
tooth.
Yeah. Can't do it.
Noonies, Nookie face. You're in for it
Oh.
all. You're just in
Hey,
for the ride
Thomas
now.
Von Weaver says, en route,
En
just
route.
need to do something.
Oh,
Just need to
You
set up a
know,
webcam. All
this
right,
guy,
we
you
got the rev.
know-
We got the rev.
the rev. You know, when the rev is popping up, you know something's gonna go down. You know
Yeah,
he's
something
bringing
gonna go-
something. He's bringing some type of technology
Uh-huh.
in his
He-
front
Some kind
and or
of-
back pocket.
Some
At last,
kind of tech-based virus technology.
he had
should
merged
lose, though.
with.
Everybody stay and keep watching.
Keep
Yeah.
watching.
Trust us.
Because last time
Trust us.
the Rev was here, the past couple times he had merged with technology. He was the lawnmower man. He was the
Right.
lawnmower Rev. And
Yeah.
so yeah, we might actually get the flesh Rev.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know.
K-Rock heard he was telling me and suspected that perhaps he caught wind that I had officially married somebody. I felt I was stepping in on his territory as the rep.
Oh, that's funny. Right? Yeah.
Right.
You did officially marry somebody.
BB Reverend.
I guess-
Reverend
And I
BB.
officially got married. Boy, we're
On
full
Saturday,
of surprises
yeah.
in the big room.
Oh, you're gonna blow his mind. You too.
Yeah.
I don't know if he
doesn't
knows
know.
that yet.
I mean, we don't know if he tunes in on the episodes, listens to the reruns. These are all
Hey,
recorded
oh,
somewhere
yeah,
inside
or
of
the
me.
people around him are talking about it. You know?
Right.
That's right. Supposedly, these are being recorded in cyberspace. We don't ever
Mm.
actually know because we don't ever check.
It's
up on our
pronounced supposedly.
It's
supposedly. Sorry about
Supposedly.
that. I put the D. I
Supposedly.
pronounced the D. I pronounced the hard D
Hardy,
Hard D.
hardy, har.
when it's actually a
what-
hard B.
Supposedly,
I am.
the hard B. Oh, okay. So speaking of, let's hear about it, there, Reverend BB.
Oh, it went great, dude. It went great. It was.
Father, I think you would be more of a Father BB, or Bishop BB.
I guess that the term that I legally have is minister.
Minister BB.
Yeah, Minister BB.
That's awesome. I'm proud of you.
I like
Beebs.
minister. It's kind of like ministry.
Beebs. When
Yeah.
my wife comes to America,
Boom.
you're gonna
gonna marry
reinstate
her.
the vows.
Right. I have the prima nocte thing though with my church. So
First night.
It's a what?
what?
Prima
No,
nocta.
don't worry about it.
Just sign there. Just
Just
sign
sign
there.
here.
We got Karen laughter. We got Hannah K-Rock laughter in the
Mhm.
back.
We got to get that sample. Bite,
But yeah,
get that
no, it
sample
was
bite.
it went great, man. It went great. It was out in Seward, outdoor wedding.
Ooh, in a
um,
sewer. Nice.
Yeah, I know.
It's a Ninja Turtle
Right.
wedding.
I pulled it off with no didn't screw up any words at all. Didn't mess
Nice.
up anything.
Where's the
one part
recording?
the one part that I sang perfectly.
You sang?
Tune. The
What?
just the one part of the Kiss song. I did
I'm
it.
just
Right.
a boy.
Oh,
This
nice.
is the ship to the stormy sea. Just that part.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, but that
That's
went
awesome.
off great.
Did you memorize it, or did you have a monitor?
No, I couldn't memorize first of all because the bride had a number of editions
Of
the
course.
day before and even the day of.
Oh my.
Could you work this into the speech? I was like, yep, I'll make it happen. And I did.
Lucky
Yeah, I
brother.
did. I did it great. But I had the majority of it written down so I could refer to it just in case. And just had a microphone set up so everyone could hear, my voice.
My boss.
And it went great. Read through the whole thing afterwards. During their vows when they were exchanging their vows,
Mhm.
Justin kind of walked up like he forgot what he was saying. And I was like, "Hey, Justin, you go first." And Justin was like, "Yeah, pretty much everything Brian just said, man. Like he summed it up so well. Like everything I want to say to you is like what Brian said, because they didn't know what I was going to say ahead of time. I didn't let them see it ahead of time.
Apparently, he didn't know what he was going to say ahead of time either.
Yeah. And he said after, he's like, dude, I had it all written on. I blanked. I totally froze up after you did this. I mean, yeah, because he
He was
You
so
brain
blown
wiped him.
away. He
he
brain
laughed
wiped
when I
him.
did the kiss thing. He was wearing kiss socks as his wedding outfit.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
And then afterwards, both of the mothers independently came over to me and were like, "Oh, Brian, that was amazing! Thank you so much.
I want to see it. I
we
want
didn't
to see
expect
it.
it." And then
Where
is
two
it? You say,
other individuals who I don't even know who they were. I don't even know who they were. Just two other individuals were like, "Hey, so would you be able to write something for my marriage? Like when
No.
I was like, hey, I'm available. Call me. We can work something out. Yeah,
Say
so
it's five.
you
Say it's $1 a word.
it's $1 a word.
exactly.
That's right. It's $1 a word. But yeah, everyone loved it, man. They loved it. I gave them, a copy of the words.
Nice.
So they had
Oh
it,
my
but
gosh.
Even the
BB.
rewritten ones of the day.
no, not that. Just the words on it.
BB's definitely B. You got to go. Now you got to take the video of this, the recording of it, post it on Fiverr and say,
Fiverr,
I will
right.
write your wedding speech for
Right.
maybe not $1. Say like 10 cents a word. And then you
10 cents a
specify,
word.
you know, the word is always, remember, 5 character spaces, right?
Right.
5 character spaces because the space still counts. You got to count that. So
Right.
yeah, you do. You know that'd be hilarious. BB on Fiverr, 5 character spaces,
I'll write your wedding. I'll write the love that you
0.5
give.
cents. Make it all
Put
You
5.
let me know
words.
how long you want it to be. You know, how long do you
Yeah.
want this to run? You know, because they're like, you just want it to be short. You know, so I kept it around 3 or 4 minutes. You know, but
Write the
It was good.
best man speeches are tough. So you know,
yeah,
I bet you can
I'd
make
write
$5
those.
on that.
Fuck yeah. But yeah, that's the start right there.
What did K Rock just send? Uh-oh.
I would
Let's
invite
see
you
that.
both to speak at my wedding, but I
There's a photo.
Oh, there's a
I wouldn't do that.
Oh, what a beautiful setting.
right. Yeah, it's a great setting, right?
Yeah. You'll have
You
to bring
can't
that up.
share it on there. Oh.
Here, I'll show you. I'll share it.
Sharon.
You're welcome.
Sharon.
I know how it is. I know how to do
Just
this.
a
You shut up.
boy. What you got ad hoc?
Is that showing?
Oh, yep, it is.
Yep, that's.
Is that you? Is that you in the middle?
It's in the foreground. My back is turned towards you. Lower
Yeah.
right.
Gotcha. Holding that child's hair.
Right.
Holding that child's toupee.
But yeah, that was the.
Doesn't it
that
look?
was
Oh
the-
no, there's a phone. You're holding a phone.
Yeah.
It looks
And I
like
think
they're
I'm
wearing-
actually looking at Justin and Karen's expression. I'm pretty sure that was right where I did the. Who sees this shit? I think that was right there where they.
He's like, what? Giggity
It's just-
giggity.
Yeah.
Wait,
And you
so,
wore your Kiss T-shirt for it. For
all
him.
right, so
That's
we
great.
don't have a recording of this currently.
No, we do not have a current recording of it now.
How's that possible?
I didn't know that
Oh,
he
yeah.
married
In this day and age, I'm saying.
Plimpton. What's her name? Marsha Plimpton. Martha Plimpton. The actor.
Marsha. But T, yeah, I think you were going to ask me a question.
Yeah, you know, I couldn't help but notice BB. You were doing something that BB was just doing, and I was wondering what
You go, V.
What are
you
Unions
drinking? Yins drink skins.
I'm trying something new.
Okay.
I love Southern
no.
Tier products. I was talking to a passenger today. I did a little driving work today.
Mhm.
And he was going to a place down in the Strip, and then I talked about Southern Tier, my love of Southern Tier, and I was like, yeah, I don't really make a bad product. And I came across
Until this one.
No, this one's okay. It's okay. It's a 2X. It's called Juice Jolt, and it's a juicy double IPA. And check out.
Bold, dynamic, extraordinary.
Wait. Check that out.
19.2
No, what is that?
fluid ounces.
Oh yeah, wait. That's the fluid ounces.
Okay.
And then here's
9.5.
9.5.
9.5 ABV. So this is, they're like 2 for $6, right?
And
So
I'm
it's
drunk.
wow.
It's not
2 for
19
$6.
ounces.
Yeah, that's like
And
10
ladies
ounce
and
beers
gentlemen.
for $3 a piece.
Whoa, Wizard Beard.
The time is here.
Wow.
The
Oh.
showman. What the hell? Oh no.
That was me. Wizard Beard.
Was it big?
Yes. The Rev.
Wow.
In
Yeah.
flesh. In the flesh. You've made it back from the digital
Oh, the hand
realm.
of K Rock even made an appearance for you.
Hey,
Yes.
The Rev in the
I'm like-
hizzy. Good to see you, brother.
Yes, good to see you living and breathing.
Yeah.
Last night all but a corpse.
Last night all about corpse.
Yeah.
That's
How are
a
you
quote.
guys?
Yeah.
We're
How
doing
are
Really
good.
you
good.
guys? We're good.
Oh, we're doing
man.
great, man. Drinking, knowing
You guys
things.
got done regaling the story. I don't know if you've seen on Facebook. I performed my first wedding ceremony this past weekend.
No, I haven't seen that.
Yes, I did.
Wow.
It's
I
true.
performed my first legal marriage ceremony this past weekend.
Is
Married a
this
couple of people back in Johnstown.
Yeah.
Minister Rumble.
amazing?
So he
Amazing, I say. It's the
and then
spark
the
of
very
religion.
next week you show up, right here, right now. You're the Rev. Now
The
he's
other
a
Reverend.
Rev. He's
Minister
a Rev.
and Reverend.
Minister and Reverend. Yes.
The minister and the
Right.
Reverend.
And irreverent.
Yep.
Irreverent.
Already got the
minister.
name- already got the name all
the
planned
irreverent
out.
minister and
We've
Rev.
got the whole clergy coming out.
All right. Yeah.
Got a monk
Finally,
Monk,
finally get this
minister,
right,
Rev,
monk,
and then we just need
and a king.
king. Yeah.
king priest.
Dude, this is
Got the whole court.
you're in
Yeah,
good
yeah,
company
king
when you're in the
priest
big
ad
room.
hoc. Gotta go
What's
by
that?
king priest. King priest. Gotta go to king priest ad hoc.
King priest.
I almost got ordained one time. But Rev, like what's
Whoa,
up,
don't
dude?
skip past that.
No. Okay, well, no. It was these guys already know the story. It was for Voma when we Monk and I and our family repurposed the church into a community arts center. So it was a church that was closed for like 5 years on the verge of like, we didn't know what happened
Being
to it,
torn
but it's
out.
just architectural art so we purchased it, created a 501c3 nonprofit, donated the church to the 501c3. So we don't own it. We just manage it. And then we turned it into a community arts center. And then we ran bands and music and art gallery out of it. And
But the city was given a whole
city
bunch of
was going
hardship.
yeah, they would.
You know,
They kept
saying
they kept
if
trying
it's
to
not going to
milk
be
money
this,
out
then
of
you
us.
need to. Yeah. They were
They
getting us
were
to
like,
make
you
all
gotta
kind of
do-
stupid upgrades. You got to do this, that, and the other thing.
They wouldn't let
If
us
it's not
open.
going to be, And
A
we were like,
church.
listen,
So then finally,
We're-
I called the bluff and said, hey, we're not paying any more money. I'll get ordained. I already did the research. It costs very little in the United States to become an ordained priest, and I'll hold mass for an hour every Sunday. It would be my joy to do so. And then they were like, whoa, okay, you can go. And they caved and they let us open.
yeah, because they know that
that
it would be a religious revolution.
it's a long backstory, but basically there was some corruption. We were facing
There was
corruption.
definitely some corruption.
I had to face
So
corruption
speaking
in
of
the government.
corruption, Rev, what and how have you been corrupted lately? It's been quite some time.
Yeah, man.
And we see that you got your body back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
Matrix.
supposed to be.
that was a long and fraught battle. I'm sure I will upload a video about the past. How long has it been? Over a year, something like that.
Man, did you meet
yeah.
Tron in the digital realm? Did you
Tron.
meet Tron and did you race on the
Tron
bikes?
Javolta.
And what did you do over there?
Tron Javolta.
What was it like?
It's not too dissimilar from this side of things, really. Just all zeros and ones.
Oh,
You know?
somebody sound clip that one.
That's a keeper. That's a keeper.
It's going in the next song. Going in my next tune. Oh, by the way, Rev, I'm going to debut a new song. I debuted a little funny song I did last week. You might have heard it in the intro, but I made another song, and these guys, it harkens back to Cambria City days. There's a Cambria City reference in it, and
What?
and it's going to be debuted on this
It's
episode.
a neighborhood
Has
we
not-
grew up in.
has
Oh,
not
that's
been debuted
exciting.
yet.
A world exclusive.
The Rev. The
Yeah,
Rev
we now-
shared
Separate.
some music today, by the way.
We have
with
have the
me.
ability now to
Got to share. it.
actually we didn't have before within our StreamYard software to actually upload music and share it, so it's a lot better quality than the way we had been doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Technology is amazing.
Here's a quick touch base of the song that Ad Hoc debuted last week. Here it is right here for your enjoyment. The name of it is Nookie Face.
Yo, I want that cookie face.
All right. All right.
Keep going. It just keeps going. It's just more.
Just when you think it's gonna stop, it's
The
on.
sound
it's
of
on
my
your face.
nightmares.
When you do drop
Man.
the face,
The sound
the
of one
nookie
man's
face.
dreams or the sound of another man's nightmares. There you go.
Yeah.
when he brings in that Nookie Face, he turns in the face, dude. That's the whole thing you're going on. It's just long enough for you to think, okay, I see what this is. I see what this is. This is just
Reels you in.
And then, just when you're settling in, he throws in the face.
Nookie face. Ah,
Oh,
It's
it's
funny.
killed me 4 or 5 times now, just in time. I've only listened to it 4 or 5 times. It's killed me every time.
Oh man. I love
Every
you
time it gets to
guys.
the
I love you guys for understanding me. Thank you.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah.
So and other than getting the physical body back, I think you're drinking some milk.
A White Russian. The dude abides.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh,
That's what I'm
shit.
talking about.
I thought it was an alien
That's what I'm
nation.
Oh my
talking
god.
about.
That's a great movie.
No
Great
more
movie, great
sober
reference.
people in the big room. Remember that. No more.
This world does not need a sober big room.
No.
No, nobody needs that.
No, way too many of those in the world.
Nobody wants that in the world.
Nobody wants
There's lots of those in the world. You know what they're called? Orphanages.
I did not know what was going on there. There's been some changes around here.
Yes, we have clips now. We have clips that
yeah.
we can throw in at any moment.
Yeah. Look out.
Yeah.
Which is
you never know-
awesome.
you never know when you'll find it.
I thought
Another
I
layer
like
of
time
entertainment.
jumped or something.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
That happens.
That's how we want everyone. That's what we want everyone to experience.
Bro,
Mhm.
by the way, I don't know, Rev, but did you know I got married?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Ah.
Yeah, because we
And
we-
not to the princess which we just saw in that last one.
No, I
but,
remember we were going to meet in
I know.
London, but there was
Oh yes.
All right.
issues.
Man,
with
that's
flights.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was all right, cool. I couldn't remember, like it wasn't for I couldn't remember the time frame of that, if it was the first time or the second time. Because the first time I went, I got engaged, and of course the second time I actually had the ceremony.
Second time. Nookie face.
Yeah, that's
Consummate.
Yo, man, I just remember looking and thinking, damn, the Rev lives far from London. Like, you could just fly into London airport, and then it was like, oh, fuck, it's like an 8-hour drive or something, right?
Yeah,
It's like it's a whole country or something.
It looks like such a small little island on the blip of the map. You
They
know?
look like such small hands.
Oh, the rock biter.
That's the fucking distorted globe that we have that fucks up
That's
every view of the planet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because
Inaccurate.
if England, it's like the thing, like the victor. They always say the victor gets to write the history. Well,
Yeah.
apparently the victor gets to write the globe maps as well, and the globes and the maps. And back in the day, England was probably fucking huge, wasn't it? It was
It's
huge.
like
back in the
on the
day.
global map back then, yeah.
It took up half the
Quite
world, half the globe.
The
Yeah,
empire.
there's a
Literally.
version of that
Sorry,
going
bro.
on in
Yeah, that's
This is
true.
what's
You're
going on
that's-
down in
that's-
Florida right now, man.
Rev, we know you're not. Rev's like, I'm just living here, man. I'm just living here. I'm not.
Yeah,
I wasn't part of that shit.
I just take up
Shite.
residence here.
Yeah,
Oh,
back
Yeah.
then you were doing battle with these bastards that you're now living in their land. They try to. Didn't they try to smite your country out? Didn't they try to smite your country, Rev? Like, didn't they? I can't remember the history, but
Which they, I mean, there was like the Saxons, Anglo-Saxons, which was kind of like the coming together of the Vikings and the Roman Empire. So the Vikings invaded from the north, and the
jeez,
Roman Empire invaded from the south. I remember that part of
such
British
a tiny
history.
little island. Why did they all want your island?
I think it was like minerals and
Sounds right.
resources.
Strategic
Yeah,
location.
Vortexes.
I
Strategic
think it was
location
also
on
the
the
Roman
risk board?
Empire didn't believe, or it didn't know Britain existed until it got to like the shores of France and then could see across the Channel.
Wow.
Like, oh,
Look at
what's
that shit over
Let's
there.
Get that. Let's get that then. That bit over there. Let's get that.
Yeah,
Let's see if they take some of that.
what was
That's
that?
Nice.
bastards.
But yeah, there's a version of the Victor's writing history happening in Florida right now with the whole rewriting the school books and all that.
Oh, dear
Oh,
God.
dude,
I
your
don't watch
country is
news.
wild right now. Like, I mean,
Right?
the world has gone wild since 2020. It's just been an absolute roller coaster ever since. But
Fucking
The-
free for all.
The
Yeah.
new law in Florida
Yeah.
is in high school they cannot teach students in high school about slavery unless they include the benefits the black people got out of slavery,
Oh,
Wow.
man. Okay.
like learning a trade.
Like learning English.
They
Yeah,
learned
like
the
learning
trades.
how to read, which they had to sneak to do because
Yeah,
keep
but
them
they
dumb.
learned to trade by being slaves, and they weren't being they worked and learned to trade and
Wow.
used that in their life afterwards.
Wow.
Crazy law now. They can't
Wow.
get how slavery held back an entire race.
Jesus.
Like what the benefits of slavery.
Oh my God, bro. This is bad.
That's fucked up. That's
And, like,
terrible.
It's totally fucked up.
I could see that happening in like Georgia or like South Carolina, but like
No.
what the fuck? Florida?
Dude,
Florida's
Florida.
not crazy, dude.
It's just because
Florida's-
all the racist white rich people retired to Florida.
Florida went crazy, dude. They went crazy. Like they are crazy.
isn't that where Disneyland is?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There it
that,
is.
that explains a lot.
No, yes, that says what I need to know. Yeah.
Although Florida turned on Disney. I mean, they turned on the state.
that's
you know,
right.
the government turned on its big the world's biggest employer next to Amazon, and Florida was like, you know what? Fuck you, Disney. And Disney said, oh, yeah.
We make our
Let's
own
see who
country
wins
right
this
inside.
one. Yeah.
Florida.
So what
Yeah,
do
you
you got
know, when
happening
we-
over there? Have you got any
Yeah.
Florida's happening over there now?
Any Florida brains?
Yeah, we're one big Florida, I think. I think we're just an extension, the 52nd state, if you will.
You guys had like, did you guys like since the last time you were here? You've had like 4 prime ministers or presidents or something, right? Like something crazy.
Something like that. I think it was like 3 prime ministers. Yeah, because it was Boris, then Liz Truss.
And she
then
was there
Rishi
for like
Sunak.
what, like 10 days or something, right?
Yeah, like 2 weeks, something
Like
like that.
ridiculous.
It was quite sad to watch
Wow.
because it was quite clearly there's an old boys club that runs Westminster in this country, and I'm sure there's a similar kind of structure in America. But
Hell yeah.
you know, that was someone who was democratically elected from within to lead the party, and that old boys club wouldn't allow it. And 2 weeks at the top level in Westminster is enough to break anyone, really.
Sure.
And she kind of broke under the pressure, and then Rishi Sunak was announced Prime Minister shortly after that. So it has
And he's
been-
like the young, super rich guy or something, right?
Yeah, I mean, no politician isn't without their controversy. That his wife, they both have strong banking connections. Go figure.
That's who you want representing the masses.
He seems a little more put together than Boris, though. He seems like
Yeah, they're two sides of the same coin. I feel Boris is the buffoon entertainer. He plays the Joker and the fool to win. You know, much like Trump, I suppose. You know, the reality TV star, and then Rishi looks more prime ministerial. He looks more regal and what you'd expect to be in that position, but it's still a Tory government, and it's still representing Tory values that don't align with the best interests of the country at the moment. They're based, like say, it's a group of like old bankers and
wankers.
Essentially, yeah. Inherited wealth, and you know, there's a prestigious school down in London called Eton. Don't know if you're familiar with it at all.
I've heard of it, yeah.
But you know, you find a lot that are at the top level of the Tory government are all pupils from that school and all part of a particular club at that school called the Bullingdon Club.
Okay.
And it's kind of bred this generation of Tory party members. I mean, there are Labour members as well that went Eton. You know, it's a very prestigious school. But it kind of shows that how our political system works. It's a regurgitation of privately educated, almost being born into the Westminster bubble. You know, they don't really have any kind of concept of an England outside of that bubble. You know, they don't know about the north of the country in terms of its industrialization. It's vastly different to London. Like London is very much the business hub.
Right.
A lot of the northern, if you get past the Midlands into the north, it's kind of a desolate wasteland in certain places. I'm sure there are certain states in America or areas of states in America that are equivalent of. But no, you know, there's a severe siphoning of finances and money in this country. Again, I think this is going on globally. I don't think this is mutually exclusive to the UK. But
we have a really loud K-Rock again, by the way, BB.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's all pretty wild, you know, without getting conspiratorial about it.
Oh no, get conspiratorial. That's
Please
fine.
do.
Oh, how long have you got? This goes back, way back. No, it's I try and ignore that situation, I suppose, the political side, because it is just a TV show now. It is,
Yep.
It is,
feel about it.
but I feel like they do that just to distract us, because once a law is in a books, it really changes things for real. But they keep it such a fucking circus that you want to tune out. And then once you tune out, they fucking sneak some real shit through there.
Yeah.
As a law. And then it's like, oh, well, can't have an abortion now. And, you know, like certain states.
That was like Ohio tried to do what Adhoc was just talking about. You know, recently, like just, I don't remember, last month or so, where, you know, so obviously the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade. And then the individual states started making, you know, rules about, oh, what's what. And Ohio has a super strict rule against abortion. There's no what's the word, caveats or no you know, exceptions to allow abortion. They're like, just I think earlier this year, like 8 months ago or something, there was a situation in Ohio where a 10-year-old girl got away.
Oh boy.
And
Let's just wait. B, I got a way we could skip this so we don't lose the monk. Just what you wanted to say is just the worst case scenarios. They basically safeguarded against the worst case scenarios you can possibly imagine. It doesn't matter. You still can't have an abortion.
Yeah. The government would not allow her to have an abortion. Her parents had to take her to another state to get an abortion. So now, a lot of the people, because of that story,
drunken clown bum raped my. No, we don't need all the details. We don't.
But because of that, a lot of the civilians in Ohio are like, "Oh no! We got to vote people in that will loosen up these rules." It's kind of that thing where like, how many Republicans were, standing,
to change the light bulb?
Wrong, abortion's terrible, abortion's whatever. Then they got what they wanted, and they were like, "Oh fuck, this wasn't exactly what we wanted." So during the last month, during the 4th of July weekend, the Ohio state representatives tried, because right now the rule is all you need is a simple majority in the House. So if there's I don't know how many senators there are in Ohio itself for their state.
I don't remember.
Say there's 100. But basically, the rule right now is you get 51 of those people to vote, for a law. That's going to be the law. So it's pretty easy for Ohio to change their laws if you have the right people in there. Well, the Republicans saw the outcry about how many people were upset about this whole abortion thing, and they tried to change it so that, no. You need a 2/3 majority. You need 2/3 to overturn the law, because we currently have the law where we wanted it. So now we want to make it way harder to change laws back the other way.
Fucking
That got
horrible
voted
human
down.
beings.
So
Wow. I hate politics.
they tried though. They tried.
Fucking cunts. All of them.
Horrible human beings. Humans.
Rev, tell us more
Or are
about
they
your
human?
world. Please tell us more about your world.
So tell us more about how terrible your country is.
No.
Tell us about some love in your life. Tell us about anything. Where are you? How are you spending
positive
your hours?
happening out there outside of America?
Yeah, I think.
Wait, I got something.
We got music back in your life. Rev has music back in his life.
I've never not been at the music, to be fair, in my absence. It kind of there's a lot of stuff. Been very much honing my abilities to produce.
Nice.
And just learning a lot of like master classes in software.
Good.
And whatnot. So yeah, music's always been ever present.
Me and the Monk. Yeah, we both been. Monk's
Yeah, I
got a
don't
new
think
album
I've
coming
met
out.
that.
He's got a new band. Well, you've been in contact with him the most, but so you know all this.
Yeah, a bit.
I've seen bits and pieces on Instagram when you post stories and whatnot on there. So yeah, I've kind of kept it a little up to date.
Wait a second. How are we? Am I not friends with you on Instagram? I'm on Instagram.
I'm a very elusive Instagram figure. I don't really, it's like Twitter, same way I treat it. I'm observer, not really a partaker.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, you should be able to find us on Monk's friend list. It's just Rev.
I'll share.
Is that
Rev
possible?
Mark,
All right.
like,
Yeah, I don't. I don't know. I've been off social media for a while myself.
But yeah, I very rarely I'm actually on there. I go through like a week and then get bored again quite quickly. So I'd be absolutely useless at maintaining social media for a band or a project.
You're better off. I mean, I want to say you're better off because, when you're a creator, you really just should create. And then there's so many distractions to do this and how to post. And it's like, oh my God, that's going to be like, there's not enough time in the day.
Right.
Yeah.
It's somebody's
Yeah.
full-time job.
It is. Like, fuck the whole side culture, the side hustle culture. Like, I'm a man of leisure. You know, I want to eat, drink, and be merry. I don't want another side hustle, man. I want to be able to just create, and God willing, it somehow takes off. But for it to take off, it does need public. You got to get it out there. You gotta get it out there. But the algorithm, people talk about the algorithms and this and post. I shared something with T today. It was a true life story from a guy in Pittsburgh, super creative guy. He goes as Chalk Dinosaur, and I started watching him like 6 years ago, and it was him in his bedroom, like playing multiple instruments, understanding, like using Ableton and stuff, like in a way that I couldn't, like MIDI, like he had the MIDI mapping thing down like 5 years ago. I still do not, but he did, and I was like, so I'm like, this guy's in Pittsburgh. I actually met him last week, and playing a big stage. I was doing sound because I started doing sound for some local companies here in Pittsburgh, and there was a big stage in my hometown of Johnstown, and Chalk Dinosaur was one of the headliners on the main stage. Yeah, full band. Ends up, I knew the bass player as well from Voma. He played Voma like 10 years ago in a really cool band. That's like very progressive. It was like, it wasn't progressive rock. It's more like math. It's like a jam band, but math based, like math rock or something.
Is it
like,
Broccoli Samurai? Samurai Broccoli?
No. Yeah, right. Broccoli Samurai. It's very similar to them. It's like it's jam band sounding, but their changes are meticulous, like these guys they're all super smart, and their changes, so it sounds like they're jamming, but you're like, no, that change was too tight. Like, it's just, so yeah, he used to be in a band called the Clock Reeds. They were called the Clock Reeds. And there's a bass player from there. And so it was cool because I was backstage, and then he come back, and I was like, damn, what's up? What's up, Mike? And then I was like, his name's Michael Berger. Berger.
Blonde dude, skinny blonde dude.
Nah,
that was the other guy. That was the guitarist.
But his brother was the drummer. So it was a bass player drummer combo in the Clock Reeds. And then, but in any case, it was a cool moment because I was like in my hometown, and then he was there, and I was like, damn, last time I saw you, I was a Voma, and now you're playing a
Chalk
big stage.
Dinosaur.
Chalk Dinosaur, yeah, this dude, goddamn, I'm way off on the tangent. But the point is, I don't know, what did I have a point? You're doing music. The alcohol is setting in on King Ad Hoc. And I'm doing music, and you're on Instagram. I'm on Instagram. Oh, I just realized.
Start collaborating.
I also sent the monk a thing the other day, realizing that I had 17 original tracks. 17. Some of them just instrumental. Days. Some of them produced. And that I'm like, I'm going to release this shit as a mixtape. I did a research. I said, what was the difference between mixtape? Because like, I see people say, I'm dropping a mixtape. I'm like, okay, what is this? Because a mixtape back in my day meant something different. It was like literally, it was just an audio cassette that we would grab different, it was like our
bunch of different artists.
How we would DJ our set.
It was playlisting before playlisting was.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And now a mixtape for artists, when you're producing, means it's not, and I literally had to look this up yesterday, is that it's not studio grade quality by a major studio. Like, you're acknowledging that I did this shit in my bedroom
Yeah.
but it's good enough for me to push out because I don't want to
Mm.
work on it anymore. Like, you know, it's kind of
Mhm.
that. Like, I remember the monk telling me a long time ago, it's like, there's a point in which you need to sign your name on shit. I was like asking him, like, when's your artwork done? Like, when do you decide it's done? You know, and it's just like, there's a
Never.
point where you just don't want to work on it anymore. And when you sign your name on it, you sign off on it.
And move on.
Yeah, because it makes it official. It's like I put my name on it. I'm done with that one's done. I'm not going back. I'm not retouching. I'm not changing all these, you know, because it's the same thing in the audio world. It's the same
Timestamp.
thing.
Just timestamp it and move on to the
And
next.
I realized that
who
even
you
with
are
like
this
the
year.
great bands of like yesteryear of like rock and roll days, like I could use the Beatles as an example. You know, even them, they were like the way they used to record was we're gonna put a microphone in the room, everybody circle around it. We have our amps, they get the blend right, they do a take. It wasn't right. Somebody messed up, start again. And you might do that until you know everybody's like, that was the one. Nobody fucked up, right? Like that's the one. That's the take.
Noticeably. No one
And then-
noticeably fucked up.
Noticeably, and then it goes out to the world, and you know it gets more massaging in post production, but it goes out to the world on major radio stations all over the world, and then they're expected to play it like that
Right.
live all the time, and to them that was just like that was one version of one tempo, but
Yeah.
the tempo, all the means, all the while up to that one recording that was cemented in history. The tempo fluctuated probably by 3 or 4, you know, beats per minute either way, right? I mean, we learn this as we're doing this. Like, try to do a tap tempo, and it's like, oh shit, that wasn't the tempo I thought it was, you know. And but then you lock it down. You just decide. It's like that's the tempo it's going to be. Now let's start building on that. But yeah, and then they were just expected to play all that stuff like that, and I think that's pretty fascinating. You know, it's just like. Just make, you know, we make art because we want to make art, not because we want clicks, not because we make
you
money.
do it for art, I do it for money.
I mean, the money would be wonderful if you can figure it out, but the market,
I do it for sandwiches.
To get the sandwiches and the money, you got to figure out the whole marketing algorithm. And it's like, I hope you have a partner that's really good at marketing, because if you do, you probably just increase your odds like exponentially as an artist, producer, creator. But you know, realistically, like they're two different things. They're two totally different things, and to do both, you're just it's frustrating.
Yeah.
So, but you've been creating, Rev. You said you've been creating a lot of stuff over there.
Yeah.
Are you? Yeah.
Yeah, like I say, never really stopped. There's all sorts of stuff really, spanning many different genres. I've worked with a few different bands in the past 6 months. A couple of metal bands. Producing for them. I also did some graphic design stuff for a couple of bands. We're actually out on tour for a bit. There was a couple of festivals around Europe around that period.
That's fucking dope.
So that was fun. But as I say, mainly it's just been me in front of a keyboard or a drum kit or a guitar and recording a library of sounds and just not really making music as such, with that being the intention in mind. You know, I'm not necessarily sitting down, picking up the guitar and then, I've got this idea. It's more watching these masterclasses and these videos. And as I go along, try to learn the methods that I try to teach. That's kind of just the reference music that I'm creating. So it's kind of weird because there's no intention behind that music. So you're a bit more freer creativity, or I'm more freer creativity wise when it comes to that. Being able to write a bit more objectively rather than subjectively. For a great example of it, I remix I did of, is it Try My Love or whatever it was?
Oh yeah. Wow.
The afternoon that I made that.
Wait, what is this song?
It was one of my home studio songs. I got to put out a playlist or a play. What do you call it? A mixtape someday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a lot.
But yeah, I remember when you sent me the original stem
Oh, I
or
remember
MP3,
that. Yeah.
and within the afternoon, in fact, funny enough, I found on an old hard drive different variations. You were talking just then about, you know, different takes that the Beatles would have gone through before they got it right, and different tempos and key changes or whatever.
Really?
So there's a folder somewhere on this hard drive that's a load of different alternate versions of the Try My Love. That's
Nice.
different to the one that I ended up sending over. Yeah.
Nice. That actually was a Morosco Mundock.
Yeah.
Morosco and Monk one that
Yeah.
I remember.
I
Yeah,
remember that, man. I remember that. Yeah, that was really cool.
it's a good song.
But it was interesting with the writing process, because a lot of that was me trying to learn new techniques, and TK was happy enough for me to, you know, kind of take their song, deconstruct it, take it apart, and then rebuild it from the ground up, which I'm grateful for you allowing me to do that with your work and whatnot.
Can you send it over to us? Can we listen to it now? Is there a way?
I'm not too sure how to send
How would it, Beebs? Would you send it to Beebs or me, either to one of our emails, or do you use WeTransfer? Have you ever used WeTransfer, Rev?
No, this sounds like I'm about to get scammed. WeTransfer.
Yeah.
No, it's just something I use because the monk doesn't like it, because he's like, I can't download this shit. You just got to keep clicking the download. It's a little frustrating to actually get it, but I know how to navigate it. And you can send files as large as you want. So you can send a WAV file. But if you have an MP3, you know, it's always easy to send the MP3 via Messenger. They're like, oh, it's not small enough. It's not small enough of a file. You can't send it through Messenger. So if you can messenger one of us a file, I'd love to listen to the track that you're referencing right now. It'd be great. I do remember the Monk original. I don't know if I heard your rebuild remix that you're talking about, though. I'd love to hear both of them. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I can send them over to you if you want. I'll just drop it in Messenger to you. I think
All right,
it's probably the
let's
best.
check it out. Yeah,
yeah.
Drop it in Messenger, and then I think I can drag and drop it right into this file right now. So I'm going into Messenger. Let's see here. Are you dropping it in the Big Room Gang?
I'll just drop it to you
directly. Okay,
Yeah.
That's fine. Cool.
See if that sends. Right, that should be sent, I think.
Yep, got it.
Yep.
Okay, hold on. Let's see if I can drag it out of this thing. This is going to be the challenge right here. Blop.
Oop.
Okay, so yeah, I can play it within Messenger, but I can't Oh wait, can I download it? No, I can't download it. So you're gonna have to email it to one of us. Unfortunately, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I can play it within Messenger, but I don't. Yeah. Yeah, we can't just send it, because I'd rather listen to it as a pristine file, and we'll drag it into our background music folder in our streaming program, and then we'll be able to hear a much better quality version of it.
Yeah, I'll try and send it on Gmail or something.
To who? To whom?
On
Whom?
Gmail, my email account. See, this is how bad I am with tech. I'm really old. I'm like a boomer. Oh, is that what they describe it? Right, what's the email address?
My email address.
Yeah.
Yeah,
anyone?
say
That
it
would
right
make
over.
more sense. Yeah.
Put it in the ad hoc. Put it in the big room chat, so it's not, you're not
Yeah,
blaring it
so you
out
don't
there.
say it out online, yeah.
Okay. BB, do you know what it is?
Do I know what word is?
Big room email.
Oh no, he's not looking for yours.
Oh, it's bigroom.entertainment@gmail.com. Big
What is the
room
reason for him?
No, just
Oh,
yeah, because I want to try to drag it in so we can listen to it. So send it to bigroomentertainment@gmail.com and I'll get it, and then I'll be able to drag it right in and we can listen to it and then continue our conversation.
I'm
And
going to put money down that it doesn't go that smoothly.
how
All
much?
right, we might
How
have
much
been
money?
sidetracked.
Wait. $5 bet. $5 bet. Come on, let's
It's a
go.
fiver.
Let's
It's
go.
a fiver. It's a fiver.
It's a
I bet
fiver.
$5 that I feel confident this is going to go smoothly.
Okay.
All right, so this is actually a bet on the smoothness of a transaction. It's not as cool as coin flip for $1,000, but we are betting on the smoothness of a transaction right now.
We've
Yes.
already hit a bit of a snag.
Not on my end, it doesn't count. As long as it's on your end, we're good. We're good, bro.
For some reason, the R on my keyboard isn't working, so it's not allowing me to type big.
Can I buy you some time?
You can
The
buy.
R
Yeah,
is not working.
I'm going to copy and paste an R instead because I'm a human and a problem solver.
Nice.
If that works. Oh, engineer. Right. Okay. I don't know why the R key is not working, but there we go. The Big
Can
Room
you say-
Entertainment, all one word, yeah?
Yeah. Yes, all one word. And while we're waiting for you to type that, can you just say the word arse for us, please?
Arse.
I don't know. Actually,
I like it.
doesn't matter.
Arse.
I'm curious. I actually just like, I'd really like to know if they are or not.
I love how the British always be sneaking R's in words that don't have R's in them. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, we've done some strange things with the English language as a country.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hey, big brother, get your axe.
When I get the chance, I'm gonna kick you in the.
Can
As,
someone send the
breaking
email in the
glass.
chat so I can just copy and paste it? Because typing it out is a lot of.
I got you. Yeah, I got you.
For some reason, my keyboard stops.
Oh, sticky.
It's like a Nintendo game.
Right.
Blow the skin bits off.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah, the original. I've been sitting here trying to remember what the name of the original song, the Morosco Monk collab. It was a Distance to Me.
Oh yeah,
Was it?
T, if you could pull up the original and also send it to the same address, that would be great because then we could do an A/B comparison, and I would love that.
I'm a boomer.
There you are.
I'd have to find it.
We're all boomers.
Oh boy, okay.
Right, I think my end of the bargain is almost done. Adam, now you need to open this. Smooth, was it? We were betting on the smoothness.
Yeah, super sexy. I'm just waiting for the file to arrive here.
Right, that's sent now. That should be on its way to you in the ether. However, internet works. I think, is it a carrier pigeon takes the email, drops it down the internet tube at the other end, I think.
Yeah, I think it was.
I think I've got that right?
Well, yeah, I mean, the stork delivers babies, but the carrier pigeon delivers the messages via email. And Beebs, you can actually log into the same email to to audit the transaction since you got money on the line. And if you will do that, you can hit your refresh rate on bigroomentertainment@gmail.com, and you'll see that his message has not yet arrived. So the smoothness of the transaction will, I want to make an agreement that the smoothness of the transaction, just so we have the same understanding, it starts at the arrival of the actual message in our Gmail account. Is that agreed upon?
No, he's from there. So.
No.
What do you mean no?
I mean, the smooth is just how smooth does it go.
Yeah, but I can't control. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, there's a lot.
There's a lot of factors that determine smoothness.
All right, here you go, kids. This is a lesson on before you make a deal with the genie in the bottle. Make sure you specify you have a clear understanding, or before you go into any legal agreement with anybody, you understand the terms of the agreement.
How long before you don't see it do we say, okay, I've won the bet?
Well, my argument is that at this point, the fallacy exists on either Gmail as Google as an entity, or the Rev as an entity. Whoa. Neither of which is me.
Okay.
So until it actually arrives in our Gmail, which you can audit. It's an auditable email because you have access to the same email. Yes. Once it arrives, then the smoothness determination would be I think that's pretty reasonable.
But like how long? Like
ad hoc. Ad hoc. Let me know. Ad hoc. Let me know if that arrived in your Gmail. By the way,
you sent it to Did you also send it to Big Room Entertainment?
No, I sent it to you. I sent mine to you, ad hoc.
So now you're complicating my life, but it's okay. I can handle this. I can handle this. TK, I got yours. I got TK's.
Let me know if that actually works.
Here's what I would like to propose. I would like to propose that if there was an email sent from an individual on a separate continent,
it might go to your junk spam folder.
Right, and if it came over to us, how long would it take ad hoc to find it?
That is the question.
I don't even know what you said because I'm looking at T's email and it's like it goes through it's not just direct through Gmail. Like I got to log into Dropbox, and it's already. I think you already won the bet.
Yeah, I can't.
You may have already won the bet because. But the lawyer in me will say, Adam, don't give up yet. The bet was between the Revs thing going. T was just a bonus track. T, you got to send it to me. Like you got to upload it as like an MP3 file, not a WAV file through Dropbox.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see how that works. All right, so my proposal would be that it's been approximately 5 minutes since the Rev sent me, and ad hoc does not have access to it.
All right, so let's just check here. I checked the bigroomentertainment@gmail.com is correct, right? You asked,
right?
Yes, it is correct.
The one that you sent us in the chat, yeah.
And it's spelled correctly in the chat and everything.
Right. So all that I'm saying is that as of right now, I want us all to agree on this. It's been about 5 minutes since the Rev sent the email.
It's not
from England.
From England. And we think that it was sent to the right address and that the fault does not lie with ad hoc. So he can't lose the bet. However, if it was shown that the fault did lie with ad hoc, he would then lose the bet. Can
you repeat all that?
Like if the email say had been sitting in our inbox for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And you didn't.
I would lose the bet. Yeah.
You would lose the bet.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the fact that it's not there yet, and I don't see it.
It is there. It's there.
What?
It's been there since 10:06.
Oh, BB.
It's been there since 10:06 p.m.
I gotta hit
we all know
refresh.
who won the bet.
No, you don't
I
have
got
to
it.
refresh. It's in the spam folder, like Rick said.
Oh,
I even
Beebs.
said.
That was good, Beeb. That was good. All right, I owe you 5, Beeb. I owe you 5. That was fucking great. I love that you took the time to re-stipulate.
This is simulate the deal, the parameters of the bet.
Yeah, that
When
was
you're a
good.
gambler, when you gamble on the shit I gamble on, you gotta make sure you're.
Woo. That was good. That was good.
That
was
was nice.
nice. All right, here we go. All right, so now let's see. Start the timer on the execution of this.
Of this sucker.
All right, somebody got a timer going?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
All
right.
I'm not sure.
All right, just count out loud. Just count out loud. Just count out loud. Just so I
Full
can
timer.
fill the time, so we don't lose in our entire
2,
audience.
3, 4. Ay. And why are we doing this again?
That's
Does
what I
anyone
hope you
remember?
audience.
Yeah, it's been so long.
All the
Yeah,
counting.
Classic.
You know, people, they love to stay and tuned in to watch people counting.
Oh, there it is. It's less than 30 seconds. Once we got past the spam filter, here comes Try My Love.
Spam
Mix.
filter.
It's being uploaded. BB, you can verify in the background music. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Woo! I love it. Oh, I was ready for another drop.
drop.
Oh, there it is.
There it
is. Dude, that is such a club fucking bang. Is it playing? Just like, is it looping?
It looped there.
I think it automatically loops on the on this what you call it.
Oh yeah, they need to fix that. I mean, they should just be a button that says, "Do you want it to loop or do you
There
not
is.
want it to
There
loop?"
is.
There is a button. All right, here's the original. Wait, let's check out the original.
Oh, it's very different. He took one hook, one line.
It's so different.
It's the Karen remix.
What the fuck? I don't even know how, Rev.
Wait, the one line's coming up. It's right at the end of the drop.
That's so cool that like this inspired. Like it goes to show you, we all have different brains. Yeah, I like that part. I love the sparsity of the vocals too in the original. It's so art house. Yeah.
On my mind, fun will find.
Here it is.
Try my love. Try my love. Try my love. Try my love.
I like that drop. It's so Bjorky.
Yeah, Bjork-tastic. Bjorky Dorky.
Why no? I assume distance of me to you, my love, is you. Distance of me to you. Distance of me to you.
It's so sparse. It's definitely like primed for a remix. And it's so cool. But the remix that you made, Rev, is so different. It doesn't even, it's like, it sounds like a totally different song, which is so cool in itself, honestly.
We don't need to listen to the whole thing.
Was it like a 10-minute song or something?
It's an anthology.
Now we get to the house section.
To me, like, I would run this just to, like, through some mastering, just to bump all the levels.
It never actually got finished.
It never actually got finished, you said? Ooh, I like that's a good strong vocal. Yeah, like I could run this through a mastering program and just bring it up, and it would be finished. It could be finished again. The discussion of
we wrote and recorded this in 24 hours.
Yeah, when inspiration hits, sometimes that's all you need. Rev, you feeling this one? You like this one, Rev?
Right.
It's got like this. What is it? Is it an 80s like kind of vibe, like the synth?
Little club,
house club. House club. Yeah, got the
There's a bit
four
of
on
George
the floor.
Michael in there.
Yeah, a little George Michael house.
Oh yes, yes, I can hear
90s
that.
George Michael.
Yeah. Oh fuck, I love George Michaels, man. And that dude was great, man. He was outstanding. He was a big influence on me musically, actually. Anybody that pays attention to pop music, you fucking know the name George Michael.
Truth
Or
is.
fucking- I mean, if you're older than 30, yeah. Yeah, that tone on the synth though, he's definitely using some like 909s. You know, there's like it's a 909 synth, like the boom boom boom. I don't know what that was, but you know, remember our buddy Franny O? He was always into synthesizers, and it was like,
Oh yeah.
back in the day, you'd have to buy the whole synthesizer to get a certain tone.
For one sound.
Yeah, because that was the sound.
It was like
That was-
buying a guitar.
It was, yes, you bought it for the tone because it had one tone. It might have 200 different settings. Oh, I like that.
It's a Mr.
Was that
Oscar.
repeated?
Angelic.
And there it repeats.
Okay. But yeah, so you might have like 200 tones in there, but like there's one that's on a track that's in the top 40 right now. It's like it's you know, it's on radio, so you know, you had to have a lot of money to buy those tones. But tones, as producers now, you know, Rev, I
Tone
think
Loc.
you'll agree, like, you know, it's still relevant, right? Like we still know like 808s are still a thing, like that 808 sound, and there's variations on them, but it's expected in the music of today. And there's certain things that are kind of expected in music today, you know, but I think that if you listen to enough of it and you know, it'll seep into your process. But I have to when I construct music, I'm like, I have to go back through it and add the 808s because for some reason I construct songs that don't have a lot of bass in them, and then I need to be like,
That
oh,
808
wait.
bass drum sounds real good.
Yeah,
Make it your own live, like I knew
exactly.
it was.
You have to add the kick, and then you have to go back and add the bass, and the bass is the 808 bass. Off in hip hop music, I mean, to me, the stuff I listen to, and then other genres is going to be different. This will not apply.
Last night I started watching a documentary I stumbled across. I think it's on Netflix actually, and it is Ladies First, and
Really?
it's the first females in hip hop.
It is
I
on
shared
Netflix.
it to the HL.
Yep,
Yeah,
I saw
man.
that. Is it good?
It's enlightening. It's good because we kind of like lived it. They're talking about like, you know, the real Roxanne.
Yeah,
Roxanne.
Oh, I
Roxanne
remember that
Shante.
moment. Yeah,
And just like, yeah, I think it could have been. It's not a high quality production, but there's a
that's
lot of great
sad.
information.
Okay.
You know, you'll see. It's
I
great,
understand. You know, when you again, I said this from my earliest days of behind the scenes movie making back in 96, is that one of the earliest things I realized was that when I went from an independent film to a big budget film, and I mentioned this before, is like I got paid more for doing less, but also on the outcome side of things, everything's pristine on a big budget film, and if something's lacking, I had the realization that not only America, the world is connoisseurs. Humans are connoisseurs of media, both music and movies. They don't know, but most of them, 90% do not know how they are made at all. They know they're made somehow. They know there's actors involved, and they don't know what a producer does. They don't know what an executive producer does. They don't know they kind of know what a direct. They heard the term director, but they don't know any of the other positions. They don't know anything anybody does in the art department, music. But like with sound, if your sound is not on point, instantly it just degrades the whole experience as a viewer. Like if and you can't, and it's not audible, and there's clarity and there's a whole bunch of definition, and these are the things that when we're just just producing, that's what it's like when I went to I'm just going to produce audio. I still struggle with the mix and how to get everything and clarity throughout the mix, because if it's not delivered, it's like, what is radio quality? There is a standard that is held in people's ears, and they do not know how to define it at all. They don't know how to get there at all. 90% of people do not know. And if you're a producer,
Produttore.
you start learning, oh fuck, all these little changes make a difference.
So Produttore. So Morosco, the same guy that we did that song together in in a 20-hour thing.
Yeah, he's doing
one thing
big
he said
budget
to
shit
me
on TV.
Yeah, he's doing stuff for he's Apple. Now he's doing like all these Apple campuses. Like he does stuff like a Lady Gaga concert and Weezer concert.
Yeah, like
stuff
your
for
audio
Apple
needs
campuses.
to be fucking perfect. If you fucking with Lady Gaga, your shit needs to be
what he
pristine.
said to me, is like, bad audio makes good visuals look bad, and bad visuals make good audio sound bad.
Truth.
And it's like if they're out of balance, like they just need to be in balance, because one will completely undermine the other.
Yeah,
where
like
because like you said, like we're connoisseurs of media. We're media connoisseurs, and so now like
everybody is.
Carnivores. We're carnivore.
I know. I that's the way I kept hearing that too. Is carnivores, but it is. We're voracious with our consumption of media as human beings in the last 30 fucking 40 years. I mean, since the invention of the television,
raised on it.
Yeah, and so, but like I always said within 5 minutes, and we're in that 5-minute bet around again. Within 5 minutes of anything you're watching as a full-length feature film, you know what kind of ride you're in for. And if it doesn't meet your expectations, if it's not a you're like, oh, this is not a high budget movie because the audio's off or something's off.
Right.
And it's like, are you willing to watch a B-rate movie at this point? Because the budget wasn't there and they don't know why it's not there, but it comes across to the end user. So
there's a movie that came out fairly recently called Babylon. I don't know if any of you've seen it. It's called Babylon. It stars Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie. The girl plays.
Oh yeah.
Margot
Hottie.
Harley Quinn. The late most recent Harley Quinn.
And Barbie.
And Barbie. Yeah. It's a long movie. It's over 3 hours long. But it's based on some historical things that actually happened in the 20s and early 30s of the switchover from what was the movies to the talkies. And bring sound into the movies themselves. And some like Brad Pitt plays this famous. He's not a real person in reality, but he's basically an amalgamation of the silent film stars of the day. He was playing like the equivalent of the big name silent film star, and the struggles going through into the talkies, and what that was like. Great soundtrack for the movie, fantastic soundtrack, and it's a very weird movie because it focuses on, I guess the Roaring '20s were called Roaring '20s for a reason, and that
it wasn't fueled by cocaine, but it was fueled by sex.
There was some cocaine
alcohol
involved in that.
Really?
There was some cocaine. Yeah, there was some cocaine. but there was
They were actually sucking on actual coca leaves back in the
cocoa
20s.
leaves,
Yeah.
cocaine. But yeah, there was some crazy extravagant parties that people threw back then.
There was heroin back in the 20s.
Heroin was back then, yeah.
It's crazy.
But it's an interesting movie, man. It goes
All the jazz.
a lot of different.
Yeah, that's right.
It follows Brad Pitt's character, who, like I said, is a starting to age selling film star. Margot Robbie, who is a young and upcoming person getting into that. A musician who's trying to make the transition from just having been banned and playing background music to maybe partaking in creating the sound for movies. And then somebody on the set that's just trying to become a producer, like that. It follows their 4 stories. And like I said, it's about 3 hours and 7 minutes long. Funny, parts of it are funny, parts of it are just like, what the fuck? But it's definitely it's worth it for the soundtrack alone.
Damn, that's fucking awesome. That's a great statement to say. It's worth it for the soundtrack alone.
Watching it with the movie, because they did a fabulous job of pairing up the musical selections with what was going on.
That's awesome.
Like when you were talking, it told me to think of that movie. I just watched it maybe a month or so ago. And
Babylon.
Babylon. Are you saying Apollon? Are you saying Applefon? Babylon.
Avalon.
Avalon. It's Avalon.
Avalon.
It's Babylon.
Xanadu.
But it's Xanadu.
Totally lost the rev. Rev was like, "What is Xanadu?"
No, I know Xanadu. ABBA.
Was ELO.
No, ELO and Olivia Newton-John.
Olivia Newton-John. Yeah.
God, she was so fine.
But
God rest her.
But it's worth checking it out for that.
God rest her sexy soul.
Yeah, she was sexy until the day she died, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
As far as my mind.
As far as I know,
yeah, in my world, that's the case. Absolutely, 100%. And she lived past the age of 27, so it's not an ageism. It's reference.
No, yeah, she was until this.
But no, that's super cool, man. I definitely that's awesome. And then as a sound producer, to make those decisions, there's so many decisions that go into making a movie. It's almost too much, But that's why I was like, oh, let me just focus on sound, because at least I can make a lot of decisions on that stuff. But yeah, Rev, what are your thoughts, bro? Let's hear from you.
Let's just Rev, over to you. Go.
Rev, what time is it? What time is it where you're at right now? First.
Wait, we all know the answer to that, don't we? Do we?
Yeah, it's 7 hours.
4
right?
hours. 4 hours.
3:34.
6 hours.
I know what time it is.
4:34.
3:34.
3:34. Okay.
The other day, this past weekend,
Rev.
This past weekend, we went to Lars for a cookout, and we were hanging out. At Lars today. John got a smoker, so he's into smoking shit.
Nice.
And so we're sitting there and talking, and at one point, Lainey's there, and Lainey said, "He's like, what time is it?" And she was going for her phone, and I pulled off on my. Wait, let me think. 4:17 p.m. And she looked at me, turned down her phone, and she said, 4:17 p.m. How did you do that? I go, that's what I do.
Wow. You guessed it to
That
the
is a
minute.
classic BB.
Yeah, to the minute,
He's been doing
yeah.
that for decades, man.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a rare to the minute though.
All right, hold up. This is the perfect transition to drop my new track. Here we go. I made this in 3 days. I made it in 3 hours. I worked on the mixing and mastering for 3 days.
Without sleep.
No.
Cocaine. He did
slept.
Avalon cocaine.
I slept 6 hours.
He
I
slept
put
on a
in
bed
a
of
good,
cocaine.
I put on a good 30 hours into this at least. I mean, whatever that
cocaine.
means to anybody, but if you don't know, you don't know. If you don't produce, you don't know. What is that? What does that mean to you? Nothing. Let me just play the song. But the song is called Now Is Always the Time. Because now the song's called, I decided on the name. I struggled on the name of the song. It's called Now Is the Time. What did you just reference, BB?
Right.
Down to the minute.
Down to the minute, yeah.
Down to the minute.
Well, that's
Here we
a Coltrane. Now's the time.
It's not, has nothing to do with Coltrane.
No, nothing to do with Coltrane. Shut up, Mark. Go.
It's actually more of an Eckhart Tolle reference, which I'm trying to hone in on, which is things we all know. It's about eternal being. It's about time relevancy. It's about
presence, your flow.
Why don't you look your age or whatever the case may be, like focus on your own shit. But like there's a lot of that. A lot of it's now. And also I focused on the idea that whenever I was young, I thought, I thought I knew it all. And I don't know if anybody felt this way, but when I was like 8, I was like, I got the world figured out. Literally, like I was that young and I was that, egocentric or arrogant, maybe, but I was just like, okay, I know how the world works. And then you age a couple years and then you're like, oh, I learned a lot in the last, and I didn't really know. And this seems to be the repeating process throughout my life.
That was our quote, dude. That was our quote on the Dungeons & Dragons cartoons. The genius of an 11-year-old.
Genius of a 10-year-old. Greatly hampers. Yeah.
All right, man. Poop it all over us. Go.
All
Is
right.
there
is a Cambria City reference in here in the second verse. The first verse is just me.
Poop it all over us. Go.
Here we go. Here comes the poop. It's called Now Is the Time. I hit play.
I want to raise the breeze. Positivity. I want to blaze the greens. Blowing trees. I want to float to the high. To the knees. A Jehovah in degrees. Everybody want to listen. Everybody want to listen. But I gotta keep you guessing. It's just who I be. I ain't trying to fit no more word to D. I ain't trying to buy no Lamborghini. I ain't trying to be trapped in your zoo. I'd rather die to keep me free. Like the birds in the trees, I wanna fly. Yeah, like nobody ever knew. I wanna go real to the groove. I wanna go real to the street, y'all. That's where I grew. Yeah. Thought you knew. Come on. Thought you knew. Yeah, what you know now? Thought you knew. Yeah, what you know now? Man, plans got laugh. Yeah, thought you knew. Take a lesson. Every day when the sun shines, kids say, "Oh, final time." Let's go outside, live the life.
Kickball, anybody?
All day, all night. Goes down, all right. As kids, we had the life. And the light. But now we all grown, stuck in that working zone. Trying to find peace of mind. Beat it on down the line. But even we had the time. Took for granted, never mind. now, baby.
So get out there and enjoy the things you love.
Got time to do the things you want to do. You got time. Time's now. Time's always now. Live it life. On your time.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Now is the time.
Yeah. Little Morris, little Bootsy Collins up in there.
It's no nookie face, but but there's something to it.
It's
There's
good.
something
I'd like to hear a little more like sectional drops, like sectional dropouts and builds and whatnot. Yeah, it's really good. Like I love what's happening, but I think it needs to have a little more of a pulse.
I agree.
But,
I agree. I haven't figured that part out yet.
I love what's happening.
But that bass is so
coming.
good.
It's coming.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
like I was
Carrie.
trying to get that bass, like
absolutely.
really
It's a
grimy.
good hook.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Yeah, I put a phaser effect on it, and I put the bass through a distortion pedal so that it really breaks it up and gets it grimy, and then I phased it and I duplicated it and did parallel compression so that I have the bass like as one thing, but then the grimy one, like with the phaser, I put that as a parallel compression so that it goes through the stereo left and right. Because normally the bass, because normally you want the bass, the kick drum, and the vocals to all be in the center, and then like with the guitar and the keyboards, you want them to be like left and right, basically like the way you would position them on a stage.
Be right back.
And but I put like more widener on those, but yeah, I try to get the mix right, but I'm still, it's even listening to it now, it's not where I want it to be, so I'll continue to work on it, especially the second verse. I think the first verse like is sitting a lot better than the second verse currently. So I got to make, it's just like fine little adjustments to get it where everything's audible. You can really make out all the lyrics. It's challenging, but it's fun. So
yeah, no, I hear you on that. Like it's you're probably in the same position that I'm at with a lot of tracks where you add so much as you go along, and by the end of the track you'll have like multi layers that sound great, but you kind of have them looped in throughout the whole song. Whereas what TK was saying is like certain points where the beat drops out or that bass drops out and just allows a bit more space. For something else in the mix.
I definitely like because I picked like the guitar loop and the bass loop just go throughout. And there's a couple points. There's only like 2 points where I drop. What did I drop out? I drop out the guitar, or I dropped the bass out, and then I spaced it out, and then I did that thing with the bass. But the guitar, it's too repetitive, and it's like that's not my struggle with. Is like how to, like without when you take a loop, and then you're taking a sample that's a loop, and it's like I love this loop, but you can't just loop it for 3 minutes because it becomes repetitive. But then it's like, fuck, how do I do a chord change? Like, what are the chords actually used in this loop? I don't know what they are. So I need to take them the next thing I'm going to probably work on this week, like literally, is taking that loop, taking them through some type of analyzer so it shows me what the chords are that are used in that loop, and then taking it into another program that shows me what are like complementary chords for those notes. Like, because it's like, if I were playing on guitar, I would automatically come out with different phrases, but because it's a loop and I'm doing sample based music, I'm like that loop, but then I don't know how to change it because I don't know what notes are in those actual chords, and I don't know how to change it, and it just becomes very repetitive. Yeah, agreed.
Do Do you know how to turn your sample into like a MIDI trigger? So like if you've got a keypad, you can turn it into a keyboard.
Yes. I could do that in Ableton. It's just
I think that would be the way forward for changing, like you say,
show me what the existing notes are, and then once I know the notes, then I can
just
like
put them in a different order, and it'll all fit
put them in
still.
a different order.
Like it will still fit because they're in the same key.
Right. I even have a program. I have like there's some such cool software that like you can put in like what your root notes are. Like you could say if you got a chord of 3 notes or whatever, or even what your sequence is, you know, that it goes from C to this, then you put it into this program, and it'll show you like, yo, these are all the different variations of these chords and things that'll work with it. And and then I can listen to them and choose them. So yeah, but it starts with the identification of what the actual notes are being used, and so that I can switch it. And then I got to figure out where I'm switching it and whatnot. So yeah, a little bit of work to it left to do.
The other thing is you can do is just look at it and just start closing out tracks. And so simplifying and building, getting it down to 2 tracks, and then build it back up to your 8, and, do big drops and simplifying it,
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
It all depends on what you got. But that hook, it got a great hook, and it got a good ride. And now it's just structure.
Those vocals are great as well. Like,
yeah.
Is that you on the vocals? Yeah.
That's
awesome.
Yeah, it's my
really
rap.
Good.
It's like I wanted to, because I find personally throughout my career as a is like expressing myself as a creative through music. I have a tendency to write slower songs and love songs. Why? Because they're a slower tempo, so it gave me more time to like figure out what lyrics I would put over them. So by speeding up the tempo, like I have to think faster, which is not my strong point. And so it's just easier. I joke, but no, it's easier to think when it's slower tempo. You can just come up with lyrics easier. When it's faster, you have to come up with them faster. So I just freestyle my melody with my voice, and then I go through and try to make sense of, and I try to turn them into words after the fact, and that's my technique for that. But yeah, it was I think the first verse was very off the cuff natural, and then the second verse I struggled with. And so what I'm going to do, my plan is I want to release this on Instagram as a duet opportunity to other people that are on my All the Dice collective channel, which are a collective of like rappers and R&B singers within the Pittsburgh area. And I took out all my lyrics on the second verse are gone, but I want to, and then it's just that same beat. But yeah, I still got to figure out how to break that beat up and make it so that it's less monotonous. So that's it. But yeah, that's what I did. That's what I've been up to the last 3 days.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice.
Nice.
Yeah, thank
you.
Nice. It's good. Yes.
Good Revs, outlet. You got any more stuff for us?
I've got hard drives worth of beats and abandoned ideas.
What would the second one that you shared with me today? The real fast. It's because we're talking about spit and deliver, like when the tempo is tuk, 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 and the delivery. I really dug that, and the way you handled it. LCD, kind of vibe.
LCD sound system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you play that one for us?
Yeah, I can send it over. It's very early 2000s influenced. I would say. Like
Yeah, you
early
said a little Arctic Monkey, early Arctic
from the
Monkey
first
vibe.
album.
Yeah, I love the first album of Arctic Monkeys. It was brilliant all the way through. Really,
Is the whole
I
thing
loved it.
1 minute, or is that just what you shared today?
Just what I shared. So it's very still in its. I mean, that's only a week old, I think, the song.
Oh, nice, nice. That's what we love.
So
Hot
it's
off
still
the
very
press.
New
early
cherries. New cherries. Yeah, I dug that.
Cherry.
That should be sent. Remember to check the spam folder. I think that's sent.
Spam-a-llama ding dong.
Yeah, that's been sent.
Good.
Yeah, I mean that it started off as a drum beat. That one, I was trying it. Like I say, for early Arctic Monkeys, there's a song called Brainstorm, which starts on the drums, and it's this like kind of really booming tom fill. It's like, and I kind of wanted to recreate that. So that's kind of how it started, and then I think the guitar came after. It just kind of built and built. You know, like I was saying before, we Try My Love. It was one of those where I don't necessarily. I don't think I write the songs. I think something else writes it. Just uses me as the tool to write it.
Yeah.
It's like fishing. You know, you can sit in front of a guitar or a keyboard or whatever instrument, but it truly isn't you that decides that when something's cohesive. It kind of just happens, and then you're like, oh, that's what sonically fits in those places, and you go from there with it. And I like those kind of sessions where there's a lot of happy accidents. You'll move something in the door, or you'll try something.
Yes, that is falling in love with the process is what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think
being open, being a conduit to the process.
you mentioned before about like not overcomplicating the process as well, and I think it's good to be in that, especially as a creative. It's good to be in that frame of mind and continually go with it, and not what I kind of have a tendency to do is get bogged down in the production side. So, you know, I'll come up with that drum beat, but then I'm spending 2 to 3 hours focusing on compressing the bass drum, recording some overheads, try to get the snare sound exactly tight. And before you know it, you've spent 3 hours on just that one particular aspect of the song, and you've lost all momentum for actually constructing the song altogether.
Right.
So it's better to, you know, even if something doesn't fit or sounds a bit jarring and jagged, just kind of keep going along the song process and feeling out the song until you get the skeleton structure and framework of it, and then you pack it with the meat and the muscle afterwards, kind of thing.
Oh man, that is perfect description, because what I was thinking when you were describing your that process, which I'm, you know, as audio producer creatives, we're all familiar with, is that there are limitations to our process, and when you embrace the limitations, you can move faster, you can move forward faster. When you focus or hyper focus on one aspect, you may perfect that process, but you don't go as fast or as far along as you would like to. Before, we need sleep because we're humanoids, because we're still humans. And you're like, fuck, I'm tired, and when I create a song, I want to work on it till it's done. I do not want to sleep. And it's frustrating to me, you know? And then I think, well, I mean, someday this is not going to be the case, right? I mean, someday like a cyborg, they don't need sleep, whatever. But yeah, like that's it. So
cyborgs need cocaine too.
That's a great name for a song. Cyborgs need cocaine too. But yeah, it is what it is. But I know that even with
It's a great name for anything. It's a great name for a book, for a fucking movie.
Serial.
Yeah, Vivi, you can work in your chosen medium, which is short stories. Write a short story with that title. It'd be great. Everybody would, it's at shock value, right? Would people pick up that book? If it says cyborgs need cocaine too, fuck it. I'm at least reading the inside jacket cover. You know what I mean?
Right.
You've got my attention.
Yeah, you got the attention. You're flipping over in the back,
Like,
show me the summary.
Curious.
And I'm
It's
reading the
dangerous.
first 5 pages of this bitch to figure if I'm gonna walk it to the counter or not, But
Yeah.
yeah, 100%. But yeah, that's it, and it is
cut
our
me
reality.
in on that, baby.
It is our reality. It is where we are in 2023. Do humans evolve into fucking robots? I mean, we don't know, but it seems pretty damn
more
likely.
robotic than ever.
If we make it past the next century, it is more uncertain that we will assimilate with our technology to such a point where it's humanoid is indistinguishable from cyborg. Like that will definitely, if we don't eradicate ourselves first, that will definitely be out.
Or an asteroid, because we're not really doing much to. We're not doing much to protect ourselves as Earthlings. I don't even want to say a species. I will say Earthlings, because that is an Earth-destroying event, and nobody's looking up. And there was a movie made on that in 2020, and it's fucking great.
Yeah, I watched that. That's great. Hey, can we hear this song now?
Oh yeah.
Can we hear the one that Reb just shared?
Yeah. It's called Afternoon.
Oh, it's not called that. It's just a file name. Like it doesn't have a name at the moment. It's just
delight.
It's like
Afternoon
you're
delight.
working on something, you just name it something.
Yeah,
Basically,
yeah.
afternoon one meant that it was the first afternoon of working on that particular project. That's
cool.
how, yeah.
Version one.
The worst thing, man, the most difficult thing. Come up with a name for something.
Yeah, that's what I spend most of the
Afternoon
time doing.
Virgin.
Right?
I always name my shit like
Afternoon
V1A,
Virgin.
and then I'll put V. If it's a minor
Virgin.
change, it'll become V1B, V1C,
Vagina.
V1D. And if it's a more of a major change, then I go to V2.
And then when you finalize, you need an X or something.
Final edit.
Generator X.
Ad hoc, when we would make characters in our role-playing games like PSI. Does it? I'd repeat that line.
It's just looping now.
Yeah, looping. But I think you have all your sections right there, then, Rev. I think you have all your sections. I think like in that you have at least 3 sections and an outro. I think there's like 4 bits there that you can chop and then structure it.
So yeah, like to circle back to what I was saying before in terms of like the workflow process, what you can see that, like I say, that's one afternoon's worth of work, but like you say, there's 3 different sections because I didn't necessarily spend so much time focusing on one particular section. That's why it all sounds so rough and jagged and not quite quantized and not quite fitting as quite as appeasing to the ear as you'd like, but you get the general idea of where it's going to go, those sections, how they can be expanded out. Because that all it really is a simple case of like being able to pick out what's the chorus, what's the verse, maybe a middle eighth and a bridge. And that's sort of 4 variations. So I'm one variation away from having the full song essentially. And then
absolutely.
Lyrics. But
honestly, like when it looped, I was just like, it brought it back. I didn't even realize it looped. I just thought that was the next section of the song, and I was ready for it. Like, it was cool, man.
Yeah, I think like I like
because that was just 1 minute
cutting it out. Yeah, so I think it's only a minute long, but a lot of the ideas that I in their inception are normally 30 seconds to a minute long, and then. But within that minute, you kind of get a taste of 3 to 4 different sections, and then at some point in the future, when I revisit it, it will then get expanded into a full song if I ever revisit it. Like I say, it's hard drives and hard drives worth of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's sometimes easier to move forward, and then I have to force myself, like. Even with this shit, because it's like, if I don't take the time today and try to fix the things that I'm hearing, like I like you said, I'll probably just move on, and maybe it'll never get released. And I don't have as hard drives, but I do have I have like 17 tracks that I never release. You know what I mean? It's like it's a lot. It's a lot. It's not hard drives, but it's still a lot.
Well, it's not like hard drives worth of tracks as such. Some of them are no more than 30 to 40 seconds long, so I won't necessarily just consider it a track. It's just me basically recording
the spark of an idea.
Yeah, essentially.
Yes. Okay, that exists on my phone. I always do that on my phone I always do memo, and I do have countless. I can't even count how many tracks that I have like that. I know exactly what you mean. Like, it's a fucking great idea. It needs expanded upon, but the work that goes into fleshing it all out, and you really need to.
Yeah, at some point you got to, one of those things you have to keep doing them because it's an exercise. But at what point do you realize it's like what just occurred that is beyond exercise, and there's something that sticks, and that's then, wow, this 30-second exercise, I'm going to now put 30 hours in because it has something.
That's literally it. You nail it.
Yeah.
It's a 30-second idea. It's a 30-second hook or whatever spark. You're like,
it's conduit.
Am I going to put 30 hours into this bitch? Yeah.
Whatever you were, there's a great quote. Was it Michael Jackson? I think it said, where he was like, well, if I don't do something about this, it's going to go to Prince. Prince is going to do something about it.
Talking about the ether of ideas.
Yeah, it's like world this
connectivity,
and he's calling up Quincy, and it's like
collective
blah, 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 blah.
consciousness.
You got to do this, and Quincy's like, yeah, but it's like 3:00. Yeah, but if I don't do something about it, Prince is going to do something about it.
He was that aware of collective consciousness that he was concerned about his greatest competitor at that time, and not only is it's not only as a competitor, but also as we all run faster when we have somebody to run against.
Yeah.
Fact of it,
Yeah.
Like you run faster further when you're running against a great competitor. So you respect and you honor that other. Whatever your genre, whatever your medium, whatever it is, like it's a competition. I want to beat you, but you made me run faster, and I appreciate you for that. You made me compete faster. You made me think faster, whatever it is.
I've had last Saturday we did a festival well, no, it wasn't the Lawrenceville Arts Festival. It was at Breeze Fest anyway. And anyways, somebody came up to me and another great band that I respect, and they had said that they were like, man,
wow.
like it's like, yeah, when I saw you guys at this place, I realized it's time for us to up our game, because the stage presence, they're like, it's time for us to, and I was like, oh. And it's that same thing. It's like, that's great, let's do it. And we hugged it out because it's awesome, because I feel the same about this band too. God Hates Unicorns is the other band.
Yeah,
but
nice.
Writing, so recently there was a conversation, I don't know who it was with, but it was it was with John Margolis. But when I was going through a lot of stuff where Black Cat Moan was deconstructing on how much time was being gifted to that, and then I was writing a lot of music, like constantly. I'm always writing lyrics, but at the time I was playing with GarageBand and doing doing the whole thing. Yeah. And I was sharing some of that stuff with you guys, Rev, as well. But now it's fascinating. We're talking about having collaborators and people that you streamline this process. When you're doing it on your own, a 30-second lightning strike, it's like, now do I flush it out or do I keep doing things? But when you're collaborating with 5 other people, you kind of know, you watch the lightning strike, and if it's contagious in the room, that's when things happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, thank goodness it started happening here in my art studio. The band space, now you can see the drum kits there, but like when something happens, it's obvious. It's really obvious, because you can see it, you could hear it as it connects to these other entities, and they're picking it up in real time. It's really fascinating, because this band Dream the Heavy, like every time we get together, we write music, and there's potential for us to put the 30 hours in.
Yeah, there's 30-second sparks of ideas multiple times throughout every session.
Yeah, like we write full songs every time. Like it's fully structured out, like every time we get together. Wow. But it's like, so what do we do? What do we do with it? And I just keep logging it. I keep logging it, and like, I have like banks and banks and banks. But it's really fascinating. Like, but when that happens so frequently, but when one really hits, you see it in everybody else. So like, they can't get it out of their head. I started calling them ear dragons, like Smaug the worm, it's not just an earworm. It's a fucking ear dragon. It's a Tolkien fucking ear Smaug. It's an ear dragon, and that's the one. Then we start like, okay, this is 2024. Because we're already like writing, like we're, and so like we have our 2024 EP like lined up right now, and we're gonna start playing these songs out. And last weekend, last weekend,
so cool,
at the one festival, Rebecca is a part of one now. She, she came and sang, like we just wrote one, and we were running it a second week in a row because it's stuck. And she came downstairs and she was like, this is the harmony for it. And we're like, well, get on the other mic and let's run the harmony. And 2 weeks later, she was on stage running it, with us in a live scenario. It's really good. It's a really good one. So like, I think we have our next EP. It's a new 5 EP. That's 2024. But there's a really good sound coming out of this band. It's progressing fast. It's dark and dangerous, and it's really good.
Switchblades and knives are involved.
It's challenging. It's definitely challenging. Like it's a ruckus. It's become like a really fucking good ruckus. This is going to be a great album. Like this year of releases are going to be really nice. So like the first year, which is last year, all these songs, because we have a great producer that we're working with. But like that brings all the layers to when you so that was my point too. So when you come across something and it's a little bit of a lightning, and then you have to flesh it out all in your own, it's daunting, and you can't get past yourself, you know. And so, and now you're writing songs with 4 people, you know what I mean? And then eventually a 5th person comes in.
11,
but then
11,
you have
yo.
a producer, 11, 11, to work with a producer, I now truly understand. Like, I've worked with producers on a one-on-one level, you know what I mean? Like Morosco and different and Ad Hoc and different people. But coming at it like a body of musicians, musicians as a body coming in and now saying, this is the song, help the song reach its potential. This is the live potential that we can meet, you know, as individual instruments. Now, how does it actually translate to get the song to its potential? How do you, and that's what a producer does with musicians, is what is the song's potential? It's not the band's potential per se. It's like, what is the story? What is the song's potential? And it's really fucking fascinating. This cat, Banked Alexander, that we're working with, like how many layers he comes up with. And just to build this sonic story. It's fantastic.
I really
need
to meet this guy because he lives only less than a mile from me, number one.
Yeah, he's
and
in
number
Bloomfield.
2, I really like what he did on that one song that you shared with me. I was like, holy shit, like this is the track. Like, this is the hit. This is a hit. This has hit potential. Again,
right on.
like you could say, there's always marketing. And if it fails, it's going to be because of the marketing. Because as far as production, it has build, it has energy, it's exciting, it has a lot of elements of things. I always say, like, people love what they're familiar with. That's why karaoke became part of the reason why karaoke became so popular, is because people get to sing along. And instead of going to a concert and going, oh, you like this song and we can both sing the lyrics together, now they get to actually sing their versions of it, and you get to connect to people in a different way when you're in a single meat market environment, which is every bar. People, you know, but it's like people want to be familiar with things. They want to sing along to it. How do you get them to familiar with it? It has to be on the radio, whatever. But like when like your stuff is like, oh man, it has every element's very broke. It was really pieced out very nicely, and the build was great. And I could hear from the original track that you shared with me and from what he added to it, I was like, wow, this guy's really, I have no idea how many hours he must have put into that as a producer, because like you said, it's 30 seconds to 30 hours. And it's literally, when you get to points, like you could hear the 30-second spark and say, do I want to take the time to develop this? Because it's going to take me 30 hours, literally. Like, it's not an exaggeration. So
yeah, Banked
to
Alexander,
that guy, you know,
he lives it, he breathes it, and he doesn't take on projects except one that he wants to delve into. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't produce albums. There's 2 other bands.
Time in the fucking day. And
but
when you're in demand,
he wanted
to
work with us, and I can't see us letting him go.
I totally get that. I literally reached out to.
He's our George Martin, you know.
Yeah, and he will be probably, you know, I mean, like the Beatles had George Martin again. Like, that's one dude, but you can meet other people that are going to bring other approaches to different songs
as growth happens.
Yeah, exactly. But
it's a pretty beautiful thing. Like it's something I've been trying to manifest for a decade, you know, like to find somebody that would care enough to log that had the experience and then care enough. Like,
because so much goes into post-production. The idea is the spark. People think it ends there. It's like, whether it's a book, whether it's music, whether it's a movie, People don't know all the details that need to be nailed and concentrated on. They don't really know. They have no idea.
No, they don't. And that's why
see the
movies
end
cost
result.
millions, because there are a million parts that need focused on, to the nth degree.
Yeah.
Even though it's the filming and
Right.
like all of that, the building and filming is a 3-month unit. Then there's another 6 months post, between audio and editing. Like it's a ridiculous amount of hours for something that is. There's so much now. Like everything is like.
I know, it's
just another jizz,
bro. It's
Thank
so
Netflix
crazy.
for
that.
Yeah,
True,
I mean,
we're in
for
it.
better or for worse, right? Because as a consumer, it's a wonderful time to be alive. There's so much good
consume
content to not only consume,
study.
It's not okay.
It's a
It
study.
depends. Yeah, that too. But think about when you're a couple and you're not you're not your creation, because we're all creators as humans. We're all like that's what. And I think you said it, T, is like
thought
the
each thought
God
is a
in all
creation.
of us. If we're all God, we're all reflections of the one. What is that? It's the creator. That's one word.
Correct.
We can
It's the
decide.
God
It's
complex.
creator.
Yep.
Not a God complex. Just say one word: creator. Creator. We all create. Whether you're creating art or you're creating babies. Most people create babies. Is that an art form? Is that an art form? Think
It
about
is when I do it.
Yes.
Well, the actual act of procreating
Is an art
is
form.
not. But after the baby is born, the art begins. Because goddamn, you better be committed, or it's going to be a fucking shit show, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A blight upon our society.
So, but like the potential is like, this is my work of art, and you're dedicated to it for 18 years as artists, and T, you're walking both lines. Like you got the chilling, and you got and you've still managed to. And most people cannot do both. Facts. Hashtag facts. Like most people do not have the bandwidth.
Can't do either.
Forget about do both.
True. That's
Let's
true.
see.
That's true.
Oops.
But as
So
a creative,
here's today's piece. Here's today's piece working on. And we had band practice. Oh, so we're doing a whole show. We got this
clean. It's clean, bro. I love it. Very
Thanks.
water drop. There's a water drop. There's a human. It's like
it's still my
there's
meditative form.
geometric shapes.
What's that? What's
Yeah.
that? What's that?
Something my penis get once.
That's
What?
right.
Wait.
That's
what?
right.
Why?
What?
Why am I
What?
getting aroused?
And then today,
no,
we have a big show. We have like this corporate show coming up, and today is the first time we had band practice here, and today's the first time we actually like said, okay, we're gonna do a cover, and we chose a cover and put it together. It's really good. It's really good, and it's a Hall & Oates cover.
Nice.
And our band is like like post punk, whatever, and we're doing Maneater.
Oh, nice.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I could
That's
share
so
it. I could share it with you if you wanted to hear.
That's great. And the thing is, I always said, like, if you got to give up, think about when you release an album. If you sell the album for $10, there's 10 tracks on it, and one of the tracks is a cover, and it only costs you $1 per album sold. Put that fucking cover on there, because people say it with me, people like what they're familiar with. So it's in sales, we refer to it as a loss leader. You got to lose a little bit of money to make more money. Would you lose $1? Would you spend $1 to make $9? Right. Economists, all day fucking long, every day. Would you
Yeah, I
spend
just sent it to you.
$1 to make 9? Well, that's what a CD is. You're gonna drop it for $10, and
the realization was there are 3 covers that we decided to do, and this one just came up like on like today. The other we're gonna do is "In the Meantime" by Space Hog, and what's the other one that we
the
decided
Flash
on?
in the Pan band. That was
It's the
Space
best
Hog when
song.
they came out. I was like,
Liv
this
Tyler. He
band
married
has the
Liv Tyler.
potential. Did he
Lead
really?
singer married Liv Tyler.
Well, that's his win
What's the
right
other
there.
cover we're
'Cause
gonna do?
holy
It's not a
shit.
Queens of the Stone Age. What the fuck's the other cover we're gonna do? I don't remember.
That
Oh
would
yeah,
be cool.
it's Mr. Brightside by the Killers. Just because it's like it's one of those like it just works. It's like, man, if we're gonna we write so much music, and if we need to like snap them into what the frenzy for the room,
100%.
that one that song works. It just works. It just works. And we'll do a great version of it. So I sent you a version of
live
we wrote,
performances.
Can you share it? Can you share what?
Oh, you sent it? Yeah. When you do live performances, every 3 songs, on the 4th song, make it a fucking cover. It'll draw everybody back in. Why?
Tough.
Because
they know
familiar.
the words. But
That's
the
all.
thing is,
That's
they
all.
all have their own history with it, and
Correct.
that's what you're tapping into. And so, like when you're writing music, you can tap into people's mental history by giving a nod to something. But if you do a cover, they're already in tune because they got laid to that song, because it was their prom.
Everybody has
because
a history. They all have their own individual memories that
they
are
have an
associated with that.
emotional. They're already
music is soundtracks to people's lives. We don't know what that is, but that's how it is. So so there's, if you can do it, but there's a lot of times where it's like, oh, we're forbidden to do this cover or whatever. But no, when you learn that, like, literally you're gonna make 0 money off of that cover. But if it's part of a 10-track CD and you're gonna make $9, and this isn't even the way, this was the way it was a few years ago. The music industry is constantly changing. Right now, they say to drop a single. People aren't making albums anymore. It's like you drop a single, and it's but when people used to want to buy albums, and I think they still want to buy albums. There's still a demographic that wants to do that because of the album art and the aesthetic of it and different things. But yeah, there's different ways to make it attractive. But anyway, here we go. Are you ready? This is a Man-Eater. Was what you sent me?
Yeah, and this is right at the end of rehearsal today. We just figured it out, and this all occurred in 1 hour. This is the end of an hour.
This is a rough. What we're about to listen to, just to set the stage, is a rough.
It's a room recording.
Happened in the room right behind you right now.
Oh yeah, there's space on the drum kit.
All right, cool. Here we go. All in it's.
Dream the heavy. Dream the heavy.
Our keyboard player wasn't here today.
of the drummer.
But I want to hear more fills. Like,
Now the keyboard brings it back into the guitar, but the saxophone does with the echo.
Okay. Drums are solid. I love the tone.
Keyboard's supposed to be
I like it.
So yeah, trying to figure it out in an hour. Okay. Fucking with me. So yeah, there you go.
Nice.
I love that halftime at the end.
Yeah,
the
man.
halftime outro is really good.
Yeah, it's gonna be something really good.
Yeah, totally.
You know, for a cover. You know.
Thanks for sharing that.
You definitely making that your own. Like you can hear a lot of the post punk in there for sure, and weird juxtaposition for such a song.
Yeah,
agreed.
I'm really excited when our keyboard players here to see how it now leaps and you know during the ba 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 da da ba da da ba da 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 ba da 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 the saxophone with the echo, you know,
You could
that
do some
huge
great
middle section
with like
So
pan echo and pan delay. That would sound awesome. Like in a
it's going to be a call and response between the guitar and the keys. So that whole middle section will probably, especially in a live scenario, be a lot longer than those 24 measures or whatever it is. But that's again, that was in an hour. Like, okay, are we gonna actually like learn a cover? Okay, Matthias, you know, was like man-eater. All right, all right. And that's like in an hour. So
Matthias called that. That's so awesome. That's your guitar player.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So but this goes back to what we were saying. It's, you know, so you need to treating as an individual with technology, or creating in a room with a band, and not studio musicians that are just there to say, okay, what do you want? But now these are collaborators. So now you have a 4-piece brain, and now we're a 5-piece. So it's a 5-piece brain. And everybody's coming at it with their own lineage and history and likes and dislikes and whatever they've been studying their entire lives. And it's really fascinating when you get a group that you can trust enough to say, well, what would you do? Because if I tell you what to do, it's not going to be interesting to me. And it's not going to be the same type as interesting, you know, because I will already have predicted what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So when you get a room and they're all really smart, nice guys,
True.
you know, so the dialogue is really healthy, and it's pretty great. It's pretty great.
Yeah, it's
And
pretty
so-
amazing, actually. Like how you found these guys, that they all live in a close proximity to you, and they're all, as you said, like when I met all of them, my impression was like these guys are all very talented and intelligent, like on multiple levels. Like I'd have a conversation with any of them that would last for hours,
Yep.
and I got that sense right out the gate. So
Yeah.
those are great collaborators, and that's definitely true. You know, and but as a band, you know, you name the band a band name. Me, like my thing is, I just want to name something like I want to collaborate, but not like that. Not like
Yeah,
that.
I know.
I ain't
Like
got time
a
for
band,
that.
I didn't think I had time for it anymore either. To be honest with you, after Black Cat Moan, I was like, I ain't got time for that shit. You know, like trying to get everybody together, trying to respect what the drummer has to say when all I really want is electronic drums. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like I want something that is just gonna pulse the dance club, and I have a drummer that wants to prog it out. You know, it's like that's not. But when you have a good look at this big room, like it's pretty respectful. Like it's a pretty healthy relationship to the conversation. And when you can put that into a singular work of art, that's fucking really rare, man. So when it comes across, like, yeah,
Tenaciously rare.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm looking forward to it in a studio version of that, definitely.
Yeah,
I don't know if we'll ever do a studio version. I don't know. Maybe we will. But
just do a garage demo. Even just a garage demo of that sounds awesome. Like I love the guitars.
We'd be able to do that.
Yeah. And then again, like I just looked up, I said earlier, like I looked up because I was like, I have like 17 original tracks that I made by myself over the past, I don't know, fucking 2 years. And I'm like, do I have enough for an album? Oh, what's the difference between an album and a mixtape? Because I was like Mac Miller.
I'm so glad you're doing that, man.
Mac Miller would drop mixtapes and then he would drop albums. And I was like, what is the difference? I was like, oh, in this terminology of our producer age, where everybody has the means to produce out of their laptop, the difference is you basically admitting that this is not produced by a multi-million-dollar studio. I'm not putting in 300 hours, but I'm putting in 30. I'm willing to put in 30 and sign my name to it. And that's your
because you're creative, and
because
it's going to keep coming.
Is there, and it's fucking fire,
right.
and you'll
Prince.
dig it.
Yeah, it's the argument that Prince had with all of his handlers, with Warner Brothers and everything. It's like, I'm making so much music that, like, how can you tell me what I can and cannot release? That's bullshit, you know. And in his early days, instead of he was making so much music, he had to put 4 bands together to put it out there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So he had to create other bands because he making so much music.
He had those 30-second spark of ideas that were like, that fits this brand, and he had 4 brands. Like the bands were also brands.
True.
And he was aware of his own brand. And he was like, I want to release this type of music under my brand, but I'm still feeling this shit.
Still feeling it, but
it's nastier.
I don't want to come across that way. So I need a Morris. I need a Morris Day.
I need a Morris Day.
And I need a femme. I need a femme fatale. And so I'm gonna need Vanity 6. You know, and I'm gonna need something a little more wholesome and across the board with a lot of voices. I'm gonna need the family. Like, brilliant. And he created, you know, that's really what fascinating. After his death, it came out, you know, all of this so much that the Minneapolis sound was one human being that created a music scene.
Because he recognized the 30-second spark couldn't be done.
If one person was doing all that, people wouldn't pay attention. But if you created a music scene, there's 5 bands with the sound. What is that sound? What's that? Oh, that must be a thing. Yeah. And so record labels are like, ooh, that's Seattle sound. You know what I mean? Well, that's the Minneapolis sound.
That's right. Minneapolis
You know,
sounds,
there's a
yeah.
whole new sound coming out. It's not. If something is happening in that city, let's capitalize on that city to the world. Well, it's one person's sound. You know that he just. Yeah, fucking so brilliant. Oh, I miss that guy so much.
Fuck.
No,
Man,
Laura was going off on the weekend. She's so excited. I don't know if she's gonna make it until she gets there. Yeah,
she's so excited. You don't know if she'll just implode.
Yeah. BB Rumble's
God bless her.
little
God bless
sister,
her.
Lar, is the first person that brought Prince into our lives, and we're huge Prince fans. Thank goodness. But Lauren was the first one that brought it into our lives, and she's making her trip to Mecca. She's going to Paisley Park here real soon.
Oh wow.
Minneapolis.
Yeah, she's just like.
I've never been there. T's never been there.
Mm-mm.
B's never been. No, none of us have ever been to Minnesota,
Paisley Park
let alone
Studios,
Minneapolis, let alone Paisley Park Studios.
Yeah, she was saying she's like this is it, it was a gift from John to her for their wedding birthday.
She's a great husband, man.
That's awesome. He's such a good dude. I love that.
Yeah.
I fucking love that.
I love
guy.
him for that. I love him for
Yeah.
loving her, man.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
And he's not even the biggest Prince fan himself.
No,
he's doing it 100% for her. And she was just like, yeah, I told her. She was like, you get to relax for the next 10 years because there's no way you're ever gonna outdo this gift. There's no way for you to outdo this. And she's like, yeah, he got the ultra VIP tour, so we get to go to all the places, and it's like, he was like, hey, if we're gonna do it, we're only gonna do this one time. Might as well do the big one. So
That's awesome.
She's freaking. She's like, I don't know if it's gonna last forever, And she mentioned what you had said previously, ad hoc. Like she said, I don't know if Paisley Park is gonna be there forever. It's like I talk to people now. She's like, I'm bartending. I'm doing the waitressing thing. I meet people. I'm talking to kids. Young kids are coming in. I talked to like a 28-year-old just the other day. No idea who Prince was. Had never heard of Prince. Didn't know any of his music. She was like, what? When doves cry? You know when doves cry. He was like, no, what? Had no idea. Never heard of it. She's
Fascinating.
Like, is it something that's going to survive forever, like a
Graceland?
Graceland?
Beethoven?
Like that? Yeah.
Mozart?
Well, no. Yeah, but it's
as a location.
It's the location.
I mean, those are artists, but there's specific songs that are recognizable.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure she's not questioning if his music's going to disappear, unless we destroy ourselves as a society.
But the location itself could get bought instead of turned into a permanent museum.
No, all of the above, all of the fucking above. Like when you think of Beethoven and Mozart, those were the rock stars of their day.
That's true, but their houses aren't a museum. And if it was, it's not there anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what she's saying. What she's saying is got to go to Paisley Park now because it might not be there in 50 years.
Sure, yeah. More than likely it will not. More than likely, odds are it will not be there, or it will be something else. More than likely because of Mozart and Beethoven, right? Like we're talking about what time?
Beethoven.
No, but what time frame are we talking about? Are we talking about
Salieri?
Oh, such a great movie. Are we talking about 100 years? 200 years? 300 years? You know what I mean? That's a big fucking difference.
Yeah, no, I think she's more on a 30 to 50 year range. She's wondering.
Yeah.
Good for her. God, I love it. I love that because, man, he's been a huge influence on, on his sound, like what he like the Minneapolis sound. When I talk about funk and I like funk, I'm like, I have to specify. It's like I like Minneapolis funk.
Yeah.
It's not just any funk. It's like I'm not as hip to you could name other styles of funk like Parliament.
Brothers Johnson.
I dig Parliament. I dig the Brothers Johnson, but the Minneapolis funk is the funk
Connected
that I
to us.
prefer.
Right,
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to head and
right on, Rev.
get some
Yeah,
sleep.
the sun's coming up.
Yeah.
Rev, how are you spending? What are you doing these days? By the way, what's your day job, night job?
I currently am an assistant manager of it's like a cafe kind of thing.
Yeah,
different part of Manchester. So it's quite a big cafe. So yeah, that brings a bit of money in. It's nothing, keeps.
So free drinks when we all come to Manchester.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Fucking
Absolutely.
hey, woo! That's all we're in it for. That's all we're in it for, baby.
That's all we do. We just
We're coming to Manchester. No, Rev,
awesome.
love you. Thank you, man. Great seeing you.
Miss you, brother. So
yeah, man, stay safe.
Let's stay safe, but let's get physical. No, let's start getting some tracks moving between Ad Hoc Studio and Rev Studio.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I really dig like what you're doing, man. I always
let's start linking up.
bro.
Let's start linking those studios up, man.
I'm definitely up for that, and let's start making some music. Like we've got so many tools to do it now. There's no excuses. No excuses.
No.
Right.
Love it. Okay.
All right, man.
Peace.
Be
Stay safe out there.
Grease. Love you, brother. Good to be with
Love
you
you
again.
too.
Cheers.
Stay safe. Bye.
How great is that? Wow.
great.
Man, what an interesting life. What an interesting life we live. Good times, right?
Bro, we wouldn't know that guy if fucking COVID didn't happen.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's right. Yeah. And the
Would
tech.
not know that guy existed.
No, right.
We wouldn't be doing our digital meetups, but
not at all. No, we would have no idea.
I know one thing is that in my life would not feel the same. My life would not feel the same if you two didn't exist in it.
That's the truth.
Oh, that's 100%.
Yeah,
All
my
the memories I
subconscious
have.
programming would be really fucked up if it wasn't for you
it's
guys.
just knowing that you're out there and existing,
Yeah.
is like enough. That's why when we connect, there's like no time lost. I don't need to know every fucking detail of every minute of what you're doing because you're different. You're different than me, but
just enough to make it interesting.
It's just I don't know. It's one thing that I know. What I do know is that I think when I think about what loneliness would be, is that I don't know anybody that would understand understand me.
Yeah,
I don't have a shared history with, and like our shared history. Man, it's something that's what makes human existence, I think, meaningful, is like the shared history of our perspectives.
Yeah, that's one of the things I wrote that in the thing for the wedding. The thing that I just read for the wedding, I wrote a section about moments, and that's what we live for.
Has Ad Hoc actually heard what you wrote?
No.
He wasn't here that week that you read it.
Oh, yeah, no.
Could you read it?
Wait, so the episode that I wasn't here for, you not only read your monologue for the wedding, but also your short story that you wrote?
Yeah. He got fucked out.
Damn. No wonder T was like, I was on there for a couple hours. Fuck, I meant to go back and rewatch that episode, and then life happens and I forgot. And I was like, I totally after our last week this time, I was like, I need to go back and watch that fucking Big Room, and I didn't.
Give me a second. I need to get my drink together. You can start reading if you want to. Hold on.
You can, or I can watch it. I can watch it.
No, I'll read it. It's just short.
All right, cool. In that case, let me get some beer. I can still hear you.
Get the bear.
Gotti.
You gotta get that bear.
This week, actually, was that yesterday? Ad Hoc's not here, but I went and had dinner with Aaron Bimran, which I don't think you actually met in person. He was Ad Hoc. Last night I went and had dinner with Aaron Bimran.
Wow.
Speaking
that's
of like
awesome.
people where like no time passes when
No,
you know.
because Mimran is a compadre to Hazi. Before I ever met Hazi, it was Mimran, TK, the monk, and Hazi.
Yeah, we were
Mimran and the monk in grade school in 8th grade.
When I went to visit,
So,
what do you mean no?
Well, when I first moved to Hershey, I went to St. Joan of Arc, and Aaron Mimran was the first person that welcomed me. Haas went to Hershey grade school, and we didn't meet Haas till high school.
Oh, you didn't meet
so
Haas
my
until
first
9th grade. I thought you met Haas in 8th grade as well.
Nah, that was
how
Aaron.
quickly
Aaron's
he
the
bonded. I
first
thought you
person
guys
that
were-
like welcomed me.
Oh, okay.
So I had dinner with him last night, and like I haven't seen him since pre-pandemic, face to face. You know, I mean we did some FaceTime, you know, like pandemic FaceTime stuff, but like no time passes. Like so funny. That dude is funny.
Yeah, he always had a great sense of humor.
He's
It's
quick,
amazing.
quick, good.
Yeah, and there's something about that. As great as FaceTime and streaming and whatnot is, there is something about that in the room energy that happens. Yeah,
I'm waiting for it again. I'm waiting for it. Let me know. Just let me know. Let me know. Let me know.
Yeah, after the wedding rehearsal, K Rock and I had dinner with my dad. Yeah, he came out to the hotel. We ate at the hotel. My dad and Lee, and it was great. It was great, dude. Like my dad was like, we got to talk. We talked about mom, about some of the funny stuff that she used to do. He was laughing. Yeah, he was definitely in a much better mood and way than I've seen him in a long time.
Oh,
I don't know why. I don't know what it was.
I know why.
Yeah. But that was really good. It was really good. It was really good.
That's nice to
Because
hear.
I had a great time with Laura on Sunday before we came home at the cookout. Yeah, and that was just the family. It was just the family.
Nice,
Except
man.
except
That's
for,
so awesome. I'm so happy.
Except for one of my sisters who didn't show up. But
probably better off.
She did not. She didn't show up.
No.
She didn't wreck the party. She didn't show up and make
Laura
everybody unhappy.
invited her and asked, said, "Hey, come on out."
I know she always does.
Yeah, you haven't
'Cause
actually.
she's awesome, but
haven't actually. She's like, Chris. She's like, you haven't actually seen your brother with your eyes in any way in over 5 years.
really that long?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's been 5 years since we've actually seen.
And they live in the same little ass town.
Well,
Yeah,
she lives in the same house as Mike.
Yeah.
You know.
Anyway, here's what I wrote for the wedding.
This is for it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool.
So this is for Justin and Kim, and you know Justin, right? Yeah, he's been.
I've performed with Justin as a
Right.
musician many times. He's a guy that I always felt a kinship with.
Yeah. He's definitely got some struggles in his past too. I mean, he's definitely.
Yeah, he's complex as we all are, and he has demons as we all do, but he loves the demon, which is Gene Simmons, which everybody. Yeah, so we got a lot in common. We got other things in common, but it's I know him.
BB mentions it. Wait till you hear us. Go ahead.
So here's what I wrote. I wrote. I didn't, like I said, I didn't write down the stuff that she asked me to add. It was just standard blah blah stuff anyway. So I says, We are gathered here today to see this man and this woman joined together in holy matrimony. To be honest, 6 months ago, when Kim and Justin asked me to officiate the ceremony, I was surprised. I mean, I was honored, of course, but I was surprised. I've never been big on ceremonies, and I'm not a very religious person, especially organized religion. I do believe that there is more to the universe than any of us are able to understand. Powers of light and goodness, negative powers, and demons of darkness, too. But as far as organized religion, holy sacraments, ceremonies, I've never been drawn to it. However, something that I do firmly believe in is celebrating moments. Moments are what our lives are made up of. They are what we live for. And far too often, people just let these moments flash into existence and then fade away without recognizing or acknowledging them. Moments can range from the personal to the unifying. It can be a single shooting star that burns across the night sky, which only you see, but you remember it for the rest of your life. It can be that exhilaration when an athlete scores a goal for our team, and 30,000 of us erupt at the same time in a shared rapture. Or it can be that one moment that becomes infinite, when two people meet each other and change the course of each other's lives for the better. That one moment when two pathways become one, strengthening each other in ways that neither thought were possible. It is that kind of moment that we're here to celebrate today. I've known Justin for a dozen or so years now. I've seen some of the amazing things he can do, the joy and light he can bring into people's lives without even trying. But I've also seen him in darker times, when those demons seemed to swarm, and I can tell you without hesitation, there were times I wasn't sure he would fight them off. There were times I doubted he had the strength. But I can tell you without hesitation that I no longer have that doubt. I no longer wonder whether or not he will prevail over the darkness that the universe presents to all of us at different points in our lives. And that is because of Kim. While I've only known her for a few years, every single interaction I've ever had with her has been positive. Every vibration that comes from her, every feeling that you get when you are around her is something good, something supportive. And while I do not know her well enough to speak about her times of struggle, and I'm sure that she, like the rest of us, has her difficulties at different times, I know without question that she makes Justin a better person. You see, Justin, Kim is the answer. Kim is the answer to the question that you have asked me directly dozens of times over the years that we have known each other. It is Kim who steers the ship through the stormy sea. And because of that, hope will not be lost, as I know without question that Justin would do anything, spiritually move the heavens or physically move the earth to help Kim. So this right here before us, this is a moment worth celebrating, worth remembering. And then it just goes into the, I understand you have vows to exchange and all that. But there you go.
That was great, B.
Yeah. Yeah, they really like
really good. Like really good. Yeah.
It was fun. It was good. It was a good time.
Man, actually, that choked me up, bro. Cause
people cried. There's a couple people cried at the wedding. Yeah.
Wow. I love that you took it to the dark place and weren't afraid to recognize that that's part of our human existence, and by doing so, it fucking became real. It just got real. Like shit got real. It's
absolutely.
Dude, it's no. You keep it all fluffy, it just feels fake. No. Shit ain't pretty all the time out here. You know what I mean?
Sure,
turds ain't pretty, baby.
Turds ain't
to be honest with you,
that was the original line. I had that written there originally, but I took it out.
The first time I experienced that, the first time I experienced honesty at a wedding was by who?
Oh, Father Charlie.
At whose wedding?
Yes.
It was
Correct.
Frankie's.
At the O. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Truth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I'll never forget that. I'll never.
Yeah,
forget
I think it definitely is. It inspired you.
Yeah.
It gave you the
You're
strength to
thinking you're
know
just
that
gonna
that's
get
what
fluff,
should
and
be
then
done.
you got real talk about human conditions and like what
Honestly.
this really is like.
That's what it really is
Oh,
on these
man,
real human beings.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
that's
real
great.
people, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
there's
first
people,
time. This is only the second time I heard it, by the way.
Right.
in all those years, this is the second time only I've ever heard that. Everything else has been complete fucking bullshit. You know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There were a few people out there crying, and like I said, both the moms came up to me separately and were just thanking me for what I had to say and all that. Both Justin
Bro, that is so amazing.
Yeah. I think you're wearing the same T-shirt, by the way.
I am. I put it back on today for sure. I was like, dude, I got to wear the same shirt that I wore for the wedding.
I love it. I love it. I knew it.
Yeah.
Man, good call. And yeah, that's freaking awesome. Like,
if love is lost, then so are we. I like that twist you did on it. You're like, no.
Except I'm not.
God, I want to listen to the Elder album right now.
Let's do that. Hey, you out there in the big room, welcome to the big room listening party. We're going to listen to the entire
We're just gonna listen
Elder
to the
album.
I don't think I got it. Yeah.
Until
I don't know
Facebook
if I
takes us
got
off.
40 minutes right now. But yeah, dude, it was
next time.
Because way back when they had asked me if I would write it, Justin was like, "Oh, dude, if you worked a Kiss lyric in there, that would be insane." I was like, "I'll do it. I will work a Kiss
Hell
lyric."
yeah.
I was like, "I will work at least one Kiss lyric into your wedding vows."
No wonder you made him speechless, bro. That was a great.
He literally clapped his hands together, fell back, took a step back, and like turned to the crowd like, "I can't believe that just happened."
When you said those lines?
When I
That's
said that
awesome.
line, yeah, and he was just had the fucking biggest smile, just a huge smile.
That's awesome.
It
That's
was
awesome.
I just think
you
it's so
made
cool.
their moment. You made the moment. You like cemented it.
It was great. It was really good.
Congratulations. Well done, mate. Well done.
Woo!
Damn, I would have never saw that coming. Like,
that's the start of Bryantology right there.
Unbelievable. Fucking believable.
BB Hubbard.
BB Rumble. Yeah, BB Rumble. Bryantology. Basing it on quantum physics, taking it away from a science fiction, more into science fact.
Good, there you go. Follow me, not them.
Follow me, not them. As God of my world.
My world.
My world.
500 big room bucks.
500 big room bucks in there.
Yeah, love it.
Oh,
so, is that it?
I love you guys.
3 hours.
Yes. Yeah, man, that was 3 hours right there.
Oh man, what a special! Like Rev, we all know.
He was
Rev
our first
international dude, man. He's our first international viewer.
He was the first one. He was swinging by the room, made a comment of some sort or another in the chat room. We weren't even on StreamYard at that point. We were still using OBS and straight through Twitch and shit.
Wow.
And trying to hook up through Zoom or whatever we were using to hook up and just broadcast that onto it. He made some comment of some sort, and I caught his name, and
thank goodness.
And
you caught his name, and you
yeah, because he was Rever something or whatever, and I was just like, That's an interesting name. You got an interesting name there, Ref. You got an interesting name. What does it mean? Does it mean anything? Is it Tom Weaver? Is your name Tom Weaver? And he was just like, holy shit, did you just do that in real time? That was so funny. And then and that brought him back. He's having to come in and be like,
Unbelievable.
All right, dude, stop back next week.
And he's such a great dude. Like
He's a good
such
dude.
a sweet
that
soul.
we have so much in common with. Like he's, as creatives ourselves.
Yeah.
And he's a creative. And it's just like, man, there's instrument I can't think of the word. Instant. Yeah, that's a word. Instant kinship. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Like there's an instant kinship between creatives, even if it's like, oh, this isn't our genre. All of us, the three of us, like I really feel, especially, I mean, of course, TK, but like we know multiple genres because we've been alive for so long. We just know
half a century
genres. Yeah, like
we got 150 years experience between the three of us.
Between the three of us, that's right. So, it's like when we meet somebody, it's like, oh, you're creative. I understand the process. Whether you're writing a fiction novel, whether you're writing a poem, whether you're writing a song, whether you're
dancing,
whether you're anything, the process, and we
creative.
The first time we sent him a link and he popped on, it wasn't at all awkward. Like there was no, like the first time he came on video with us, it wasn't awkward or weird. Like, so what do we say to you? What does he say to us? It was immediate. Like, you like to create stuff, don't you? Yeah, I do it. It seems like you guys do too. I don't have
who the young ones are.
Yeah,
the young ones.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of people around me that create stuff, but I do. I thought I was weird, but I'm not alone.
You know what's interesting now? We actually probably could go back and watch that episode.
If you can find it somewhere, saved somewhere on YouTube, yeah.
No,
unless on YouTube, right?
Clip. No, unless they save his clips, they're deleted. But yeah, on YouTube, you're right.
On YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, it's on YouTube. Yeah. YouTube is the one that records it forever.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
I wonder if it's on there.
That would be fucking cool as shit.
To send him that, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, even to put a little clip, like a little ass snippet of our
ass clip. Little ass clip.
Ass clip.
Ooh,
ass clip.
Ass clip.
Hey.
Hello.
Ain't got
not an ass clip. No, what we're talking about is a little clip of that moment, but put it in the intro whenever he shows up.
Oh yeah! Wow, that'd be
if we know he's showing up, we knew he's showing up this episode. That would be put that little clip of the first time we met.
Yeah,
that's Easter egg.
Yeah.
It's Easter eggs.
Yeah, get a little video to play. Like the coop drop or whatever.
The
coop drop. Yeah, get one of those. But
can you play that right now? Because it makes me laugh every time.
Oh my god,
that's a kook and a duke.
That's
drop.
kooks. That's a kook drop.
That's a kook drop in a duke bucket.
Dude, if you could find a moment from our first conversation with Tom Weaver and find a clip that's long, just
10
5 seconds, 5 to 10 seconds long,
and with Krampus.
Yeah. And with Krampus, that would fucking surprise the hell out of him, right?
Yeah.
Have that loaded in our gun. Oh, that's some good producer shit right there.
Yes. Yeah.
So every Wednesday we're here when we can be. And every moment of our lives have been tagged back to the big room in Cambria City in Johnstown.
So
when I was 5
development,
and you were 6 and you were 7, and which makes me want to read this sonnet.
You nailed it, dude. You nailed it. You nailed it. You visually transformed into fucking Joe Rogan.
You did.
You fucking,
Oh, Joe Rogan, yeah.
Yeah, you did. You visually transformed.
Good.